Warning. The following program is a recap of the HBCU sports world. It is meant to be comedic and informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their schools, or all black people. There may be some cuss words and some cultural words. If that bothers you, move along. If you're young, please seek permission before watching any further. If you at work, make sure you got your earbuds in. Don't blame us if you get fired. Thank you. The Outspoken Show.
And P.S. Don't be so damn sensitive.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. Yeah, we Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops and fine to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow, who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness is really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring son up, baby.
Hey yo, Scotty, we back. Appreciate you for reaching out. I'm like, hey, it's outspoken. A lot changed, granted the concept we still hosting. Giving you the fix you need when on the screen. The veteran, Captain Petty, giving you medicine. Come tap in, you know Scott gon' do what he do. Might not want to hear it, but here go the hard truth. Perry about the numbers, regret if you're not fact-based. When you run your lane, the numbers seem like a statue. Wait. Hey, Scotty, man, I'm not feeling it. I don't think the people feeling it. Let me get in my bag a little bit, just showing what this outspoken really about to be like. Outspoken, this is more than conjecture. These days they laying people off. So glad that we got our own. Hunger insatiable, made for you if you say you objective. Hard truth offering, no offense, just perspective. Come get your dosage and go with me. We spit it like poetry. The pivot was pivotal. Could rhyme here, but I'd rather not. Some say Scotty, some call him Scott. The best one since Stewart. If you know, then you know. But if you don't, then you lost. Let me be frank for a minute, cause we all know that's how Perry be. Break it down the game for what it was, no apologies. This my hypothesis, you tune in, you like watching it. It's common sense, obvious, competent, rugged, and confident. Hey, we outspoken. We outspoken. We outspoken. This is outspoken, and we gon' put on the show, even if we hear you say I can't.
All participants are muted.
Outspoken.
Hey, backpack. I think we got another one. They ain't think we can do it, but we still here.
What is going on, everybody? You already know what it is. Your boy Scotty with back with another one. Listen, you already know what it is, man. It's Monday night. You already know the hottest live show in the planet. Me just getting off the road doing what I do, but I got to bring on my brother from another who has had a great, happy homecoming weekend. Give it up, my boy, Pretty White.
I'm like Mike Reed. Hey. That's what Mike Reed do right there. Got it. Got it. What a hell of a weekend, boy.
What a hell of a weekend. What a hell of a weekend.
All them naysayers out there. All them naysayers.
Me being one of them.
You one of them. You a naysayer.
Me being one of them.
We got to let a naysayer know.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you know,
Didn't I say before we get into this that there could be a surprise team? Who I had as my surprise team?
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember now? Okay, all right.
I don't remember.
This is the part when people really start to hate me, right? Because I get gassed up off of wins. Now that's the problem, y'all. Don't let me start rolling with it. All right, I get gassed up after wins, and people they hate to see Southern be great because everybody wants Southern to fall. Everybody want to see us do bad. Everybody want us to be beat. Everybody want us to lose. Everybody want to see us just not talk anymore. So it's okay. Right now is my time. So let me chill in my moment. It feels good to be at the top of the SWAC West right now. Is it pretty? It is not. But right now, who is pretty in the SWAC, right?
That's fair.
Who is pretty in the SWAC? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I know a lot of people would rather see me down. Prairie View being one of them. That's why y'all asses is at the bottom of the SWAC standards when I looked at it today. And it's y'all fault, Prairie View, for even putting me in this situation. You talk noise to me, then you went and lost to Texas Southern, a team I add, Southern beat. Then y'all talk shit to me. May I add Benjamin? I got it on my cash out for y'all don't believe. I won $50 and got a dub. And then Alcorn, what Unc at? Unc, where you at? G, where you at? The rest of y'all Braves, where you at? Ooh, it ain't so fun when the Jaguar got the gun, is it? It ain't so fun when the Jaguar got the gun. They don't like to see when the Jaguar got the gun. That's when we start doing what we do best. We talk shit. We get that confidence start to build again. My chest start to deflate and poke out a little bit more. And they don't like that. Because you know why? They looking at us at the top while they at the bottom. And it's okay. I'm going to be humble. I'm going to be humble in this situation. Because y'all didn't think we was here. You remember when I was talking about when the devil think he got you? That's the rest of the SWAC. They the devil. They thought they had us. Slow down. Pump your brakes. We very prayerful down here in South Louisiana, all right? We believe.
More who you praying to is the question. Just because you praying don't mean you praying to the person you supposed to.
You didn't run into no voodoo ladies while you was here. You didn't run into nobody throwing no bones while you was here.
I would hope not. I mean,
did anybody
don't mean they not doing it. Don't mean they not doing it.
Nobody
in
read your
Louisiana.
tarot cards while you was here. And
Princess and the Frog told me about the Shadow Man.
that's make believe. That's Disney. You believe in the Cinderella and the Beast too, don't you?
It's true. It's symbolism. It's all symbolism.
That's just because they gotta sell movies, man.
The
At the end of the day,
symbolism.
this is real. And right now, what's real is Southern 3-0 in the Swag West.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all been dealing with that Shadow Man. That's what y'all been dealing with. Somebody, Terrence Gray's been talking to that Shadow Man. That's what it is.
Whatever makes y'all feel good and sleep good at night, will probably sleep uncomfortable because
it's going. Listen, the train gonna come off the tracks. The train gonna come off the tracks sooner or later. So listen, it's enjoy it. Enjoy while you
thank
can.
you. That's all I'm saying. I'm in the moment. Can I not be in the moment? I ain't looking at next week and the week after. That's what Prairie View was doing
next week.
Prairie View messed up and did that. They had Texas Southern and then was looking 4 weeks ahead to Southern. I said, slow your roll, Prairie View. No, it's fuck me. It's fuck Southern. It's fuck the Jaguars. Louisiana ain't shit. I'm like, dang, wait, hold up, Prairie View. Slow down. Texas Southern, I thought that was a rival. You don't take your rival lightly. Look what they did. Look where they at. And for the rest of y'all who counted us out, look where you at. You behind somebody in your standings. That's your fault. You need to do better. Your football team needs to do better. Your fan base needs to do better. Because right now, I'm all right. Is it a tough road? Nobody said this was going to be easy. In the beginning of the season, when I said Southern was my surprise team and everybody was calling in, you must be smoking. You're Perry crazy. He just so Southern. He's crazy.
I mean,
quiet in this motherfucker. Where y'all at?
I'm just saying. I mean, if you look at the games, yeah. I mean, yeah, they surprised everybody.
That's why I told you early on, and if you don't believe me, run it back. First episode of the year. I said Southern is my surprise team. They're going to beat some teams that you don't think they're going to beat. Prairie View and Alcorn, obviously, is two of them, because them the two teams. Hey! Surprise! What happened when you had a surprise? Don't the balloons come up? Don't people jump out? So I'm just on my little.
And this is what they surprised. That's what I'm saying. Shelby hit it around the head. They have surprised themselves.
Regardless of who's surprised, you very much surprised. Everybody's surprised. Even if we have surprised ourselves. It has been tough. It ain't been pretty. And I've been there every step of the way. It's been growing pains. It's been criticism. It's been pointing the finger. It's been, hey, everybody need to get fired. It's been, Perry, you don't know what you're talking about. I may not know what I'm talking about. Everybody may need to get fired. But if I don't know what I'm talking about and we need to get fired, what that say about your team?
That's what makes it even worse. That's to me, I think that's the cornerstone of how bad the SWAC is this year. Because teams that it's when it comes down to it, it's head scratching. You know what I'm saying? Like 1, okay, 2, 3 wins. Nah.
You like, what the hell is going on? Is this the Matrix? Am I dreaming? Let me wake up. Ain't no way Southern right now be Prairie View. Not the 2024 SWAC champs. Not the SWAC championship gonna be in Prairie View, Texas. Texas Southern, I thought y'all was supposed, hey, after y'all beat Prairie View, everybody was high on you. Scotty, you too. Ooh, Texas Southern, man, look how they played against Lamar.
But what I tell you about the quarterback? That was my whole situation, was the quarterback.
They ain't got nothing to do with me right now.
But you telling me why I was high on them, and I'm telling you why I was high on them, because they had a great quarterback. I like KJ Cooper.
Okay. Wait, so that's part of the game.
That's Texas part of the game. Is a team that has stupid depth, and that's part of the game.
Yeah. Fight harder, Scotty. Keep fighting.
Okay.
Keep swinging. You remember Boys to the Hood?
The same way
he was in there just swinging.
It's the same way you saw Southern last year. When they came to homecoming and all that stuff, they was on a high horse. And I told you, how they in your top 5? It's the train gonna come off the tracks.
Because I kept saying the talent is there.
The train gonna come off the tracks.
If it comes off the tracks, so be
it.
it. But right now, I know who didn't get us off the tracks. Prairie View, Texas Southern, and it damn sure wasn't Alcorn. And I'll get to the other part of it later. I just felt like I had to come on here because everybody, they love to hate me. They love to hate Southern. I heard the people talking. I heard the man earlier said, we so ignoring. I know what he was trying to say. He's trying to say we annoying, but he said we ignoring. I heard him earlier. You know why? Because we talk a little different at Southern. And when we win, that's what everybody hates. That's the school that comes to your school and buy all your shit and then talk shit. They don't like that. And I can understand it's been a long time of that. We was down for a couple years. It ain't over yet. But right now I'm sitting pretty. Right now Southern University sitting pretty. Right now that's why you sitting there not happy and ain't smiling. You ain't even happy for me. You supposed to be supporting.
I'm not.
Oh, you not happy for me.
I'm not even close to being happy.
Oh, you not happy for me. Guess what? The rest of them ain't happy for me either. Alabama A&M, Bethune-Cookman, Alabama State, Valley, UAPB, Grambling, damn sure ain't happy. You know who the most unhappy is? Prairie View. Because they wish they was sitting at 3-0. With what they 1-3, they wish they was 4-0 right now in conference.
Oh, man.
And they not. I'm sitting where y'all want to be. Huh? I'm where you want to be, Prairie View. Where you at? Where you at?
Oh, my God.
Couldn't beat Texas Southern.
Oh, man.
So I didn't want to get started. It was a glorious, great homecoming, man. I'm glad you and the wife came down. Woo, I had a great time. I enjoyed myself, first of all. Shout out. I'll get to the rest of it later. I know we got to get into the show. That's all. I just want to get in, make sure everybody understand where we at with it today. I ain't even cussed one time. Have I cussed yet?
You've cussed a few times.
What cuss word I said?
You said shit. Like we come to your shit, eat your shit up, and then drink your shit and leave.
Well, that's what we do. You have been in your house and somebody you invited over in your refrigerator. You like, Nick, you ain't asked me. That's us. So that's all I got. I'm in a good spot right now. Every week, everybody want to bring the smoke to me. And the losses, I'm right here. In the bad, horrible losses,
you right
I'm
there.
right here.
You right there.
I'm right here.
I didn't say you. Nobody said you weren't.
No, they do. They still want to attack. They wish I was 0-3. So they can tell me how awful you are, how awful Southern. This is why I hate you. This is why I don't like you, Perry. Oh, you can't talk shit right now, Perry. Oh, Southern, who is Southern, Perry? Yeah. Ask yourself, who is Southern, Prairie View? Ask yourself, Texas Southern. Alcorn, it's fresh on your mind. You shouldn't even have to ask yourself. It's still in your memory bank. You saw the fireworks. You saw the light show. You saw the scoreboard.
What scoreboard?
It may not have been the video, but it was the scoreboard.
What I saw was a green screen that never worked. That's what I saw.
When the scores were made, it was put on the board. So
that thing is big and green. I mean, it's an eyesore. I'm just waiting. I thought it was like some special effect about to pop out. That thing was green the whole game.
It can be whatever you want it to be. It don't take away a dub. The other schools with their scoreboard working, Prairie View, Texas Southern, Alcorn, and so you get your ass whooped with that screen on. That's all I'm saying. That's 3 teams I done checked off. I ain't got to worry about when I walk. I see you again next year, coach.
That thing look like the green screen, like for the weatherman when they be standing by talking about the weather. Now, if in Louisiana there's a high front coming,
whatever the case may be, it don't take away from a dub, do it? Do it take away from a win?
Oh, Jesus. No, it don't.
And if you don't believe me, ask Prairie View. Call Prairie View to call. Tell them to call in tonight. Texas Southern, I love to hear from you. Alcorn, hey, just tell me your experience. I just want to hear how good of a time you had in Baton Rouge this weekend. That's all.
Okay, that's fair. So what's up with that video, boy? Like, I mean, you part of the media team, you know.
Hey, it malfunctions. Shit happens.
Oh, okay.
The game still got to be played.
So y'all
fireworks
y'all put money in fireworks, but not putting money in the video board.
If that's all you got, it
I'm
ain't enough.
just asking.
I mean, but
it's a reasonable question. It's like, so you pay for the ancillary stuff, but you won't pay for everybody to watch a replay on the video board. That's all I'm asking.
If that's all you got,
I'm just asking. It's a legit question.
I ain't the technician. I have not go deep into that because I was so caught up in the moment of the dub. I was so caught up in the spirit of homecoming. I was caught up in the atmosphere of a good time, the family reunion that we had. That video board was the least of my worries because I was watching it live. My eyes was looking at the game. I don't got to look at a video board to see that ass.
You can't help but look at the video board. It's underneath the scoreboard.
Yeah, but when I saw that touchdown, I knew with my eyes it was a touchdown. Whether I wanted to run it back or not, that's okay. It's here. See, that's what's wrong with this generation. Y'all so caught up in technology. You want to watch it on your phone. You want to watch it on something. Sometimes put your phone down when you at the concert. Stop trying to record it for everybody else and watch it in the moment like for yourself. You want it for everybody else. How about for yourself? For me, I've been there. I've seen it. And I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Boy, I can tell. Ooh, it's dry up in here. It's a tough crowd tonight. What my Jaguars?
I'm the only crowd in here. Like, what are we talking about?
No. They in the comments. They watching. You ain't the only crowd. Don't make
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm the only one. I'm the real crowd.
Yeah. But you the spirit of the rest of the swag. You all don't like the Southern. Yeah.
Oh, man. Louisiana done beat me up, man, because I came back with a chest cold, man, messing with y'all Bamas. But listen, unlike Alcorn, this show is sponsored by Elite 15 Coffee. Elite 15 Coffee, veteran-owned, black-owned business, man. Whatever you got, we got it. Dominican, Puerto Rican, whatever, we got it. All right.
Can we send some Elite 15 Coffee to the whole Southern coaching staff? Can we send some Elite 15?
Why would we do that?
Ask yourself, what does it mean to be elite?
It's not what I saw. It's not what I saw on Saturday. It's not what I saw on Saturday. That wasn't elite.
A dub is a dub.
That's not what. No. You said, was that not what do you call winning? And that was not elite by any stretch of the imagination. Now your defense was good.
This coffee better than Folgers coffee?
It's elite.
Is it better than Folgers?
It's elite.
Can they give Folgers a run for their money?
It's elite. That's why it's called elite for a reason.
It got a name, but what does it do?
It's elite. That's what it does.
Y'all out there drinking Elite 15 or y'all drinking Folgers?
I don't think, man, who drinks Folgers? I know most people get the Dunkin' Donuts.
Everybody ain't got no damn Dunkin' Donuts.
You know the Dunkin' Donuts is like the Kroger's and stuff, the little K-cups.
Yeah, everybody don't have that. Some people still like Folgers.
That's old people stuff.
How many of y'all drinking Elite 15 coffee? I know it's elite, but how many of y'all drinking? You ain't even drinking it, Scotty. Come on, man.
I don't drink coffee.
Okay. Hey, I'm like Jameis Winston. What you? Them dubs, baby.
See, drinking Dunkin'. What somebody says? See, Folgers is the worst. See, that's what I'm saying. Nobody drinks Folgers no more.
Well, I'm asking whether they drinking it or not. Send them some of that Elite then. What y'all drinking Elite 15?
I'm not about to put my money and send them Elite. Buy Elite your damn self. Like, the whole point of supporting black-owned businesses is buying it your damn self.
What support Southern? We black-owned, baby.
This Bama would drink Hennessy but don't drink coffee. Come on, man. Like that. How backwards is that? How backwards is that?
I don't drink coffee.
Y'all Bamas would drink vodka, Hennessy, Crown, Brown, Grey Goose mix, but y'all won't drink coffee? If that ain't the most backward stuff I ever seen in my life.
You don't even drink coffee.
Yeah, but I don't drink liquor either.
You drink juice?
I love juice.
All right, then. You out here drinking juice and ain't drinking no coffee.
Yeah, juice is good for you, though.
Yeah. You my boy. Keep on swinging. Come on.
Yeah, juice is good for you.
Keep on.
All right, let's get to a little hot and viral. I got two hot virals that I think are pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. First up, they're both word on the street. I cannot confirm nor deny just what I've heard. Word on the street is Dooley has lost his play calling duties. Now, from what I saw in the game, I saw him with a play sheet. So I don't know how true this really is. But again, word on the street is that Dooley lost his play calling duties. Perry, any comments on your former head coach?
Shit, y'all didn't watch something. Y'all didn't watch me last year. I wasn't this chipper last year, was it? It goes back to what I was saying. Last year around this time, boy, y'all was giving me the people's elbow. Y'all was letting me have it. You know why? That dude, hold on. That dude right there. The games we lost got blew out at Alcorn. He said they dropped 8 at FAMU. Willie Simmons laughed when I asked him about it. He thought the shit was comical. It was funny. I ain't gonna talk about a fellow coach, but no, we didn't drop 8. At the end of the day, this is a job. At the end of the day, everybody in SWAC West continues to give Eric Dooley a job. And it seemed like, I don't know if his luck is running out. I just still don't understand what Grambling saw in him that Southern fans was telling everybody. Clearly, Prairie View fans was telling him even before Southern. Prairie View didn't do nothing to keep him. Prairie View didn't want him.
Facts.
They was like, hey, shit, you can have him. Never in the history of coaching as I saw a coach take a team to a championship, and then in less than a week later, his school, his fans was like, shit, hey, next. That's Southern did the same thing after a year and a half. Next. So it don't come as a surprise if that's word on the street. Eric Dooley is a good dude, man. I like him as a person. He keep them waves in his head. I know he brush. He get them 360s, whatever the case may be. But that's all he got. Because it obviously ain't his play calling. Grambling, you next in line to have to figure this out. It was Devontae Kincaid last time. You starting to see it now, huh?
It's coming. It's definitely coming full circle. Definitely coming back full circle.
That's all I got, man. Hey, it was the case
of. I'll say this: Dooley needs to be breaking some bread with Devontae because he gave him 2 head coaching jobs. I'll tell you that.
He gave him 2 head coaching jobs, and he made people believe in higher ups that he could do it with anybody. And it's showing he can't do it with anybody. It takes a special talent for him to do it, and that's because that player going out there improving himself. Nothing. Once again, Eric Dooley, if you're watching, it ain't personal. It's business. Grambling, it ain't personal. It's business. The business part of it is you signed him. We fired him. You picked him up. Now you in the same situation like we was last year saying it ain't it. And now that you see it ain't it, what you going to do? Keep paying him? Because if you take his play calling, what is he doing? Easy money. And I can't hate on the man if he making easy money. So I won't even hate on Dooley in this situation because I'm not even a hater. That bone don't even live in my body. So
I'm a hater.
Huh?
I'm a hater.
We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to hate.
So I'm not a hater. Dooley, if you getting it, hey, bro, wherever the stars align and you at next, continue to go. The question is, because he lost his play calling duty, do you then relieve him of his duties altogether at Grambling State University come the end of the 2024 football season?
I don't see why he stays. I'll tell you that. But absolutely, listen. I said it last week, and I said you can't let Eric Dooley sully your name. And losing to UAPB at homecoming would have sullied his name, because at the end of the day, if Mickey Joseph if this is a pit stop for Mickey, you can't look inept as a head coach in Grambling and expect to get jumped back into the Power 5 on some type of respect level. It's going to be in a positional job, but you still want to have some type of respect, as a head coach, being like, hey, I did a little something or whatever. And Dooley is effing that up for Mickey Joseph. So at the end of the day, him losing his play calling duties is the best thing for him, because at the end of the day, I think the game has just passed Dooley by. I'm not opposed to saying that. I think his system is just antiquated. It's just old. You know what I'm saying? So he had his run, he has his championships, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Devontae Kincaid is not walking back through that door. And at the end of the day, I think you've seen enough of Eric Dooley to know what Eric Dooley is and is not. In an offensive-minded genius, he is not. Period. Point blank. Period. So We can let that one go. All right. Hey, listen. This next one on Hot and Viral, I got this from a very, very, very good source. That this is imminent. It just has some hiccups. NCAT and Tennessee State are looking and are possibly moving forward in joining the MEAC. Now, NCAT is only looking to bring football only and be a football only member. Tennessee State is looking to be a full-time member. Now, this is the kicker. For what I was told was Eastern Shore and Coppin are having pushback because they feel that NCAT should not receive a full portion of the Celebration Bowl distribution if they came back with football only. So they feel like they should get a partial or maybe not get anything as well. So that's really the hiccup in all of this. But from a very, very, very good source is that this is imminent, that this will happen, that Tennessee State will come into the MEAC and North Carolina A&T. It might be a year, it might be 2 years, but the talks are well underway that this will come down the pipeline.
Happy homecoming. Happy homecoming, A&T and Tennessee State. Took you long enough. Woo! And what's interesting, both these teams playing each other the first game of the season, August 30th, next year in Nashville for the John Merritt Classic.
Yeah. Yeah. So the third team that is on this is Morehouse as well. That's the other kicker. Morehouse is the third team. I don't think Morehouse is worth it. I think you should have went and got Clark Atlanta, me personally, but hey, to each his own. If you want that Atlanta market, you don't go get Morehouse, you go get Clark Atlanta. That's just me personally. But
I would love to see it. Tennessee State, I think, sees the writing on the wall. There's opportunity. The opportunity is how big the Celebration Bowl has been to the MEAC and been to the SWAC. The opportunity is getting teams into that stadium to get more fans than what you're getting right now with the Ohio Valley Conference. I think A&T has to look at it the same way. What benefit has it done for our football program since we moved from the Big South to the CAA? Nothing has happened for them beneficial. Nothing has happened for them in terms of money making. And they have continued to sit on the sideline and watch the SWAC and a MEAC who said, okay, if you want to leave, you can go.
Yeah.
A&T, Hampton. This would be good for Tennessee State because for me, if this does occur, it's been a long time coming. Tennessee State sees where the interest is when they have an opportunity to play other HBCUs. And I don't care where they play them at. It still brings interest. Nobody's caring about that you playing Eastern Illinois. Nobody's caring that you playing Lindenwood. Now, the teams in those prospective conferences do, but that's why they don't lead attendance. That's why they're not on television the way that you get the MEAC and the SWAC. I think now when you're looking at the grand scheme of college football and where we headed, money talks. Television talk. You know what it's going to do for your program. Eddie George, the good hard work that you're doing over there is going unnoticed because nobody cares about your opponents each and every week when you get into conference play. At least we don't.
Yeah.
Now there are some people who do.
Yeah.
I can't lie. There are some people who do. But for the vast masses who you want to support you, which the support looks like us, is this skin color.
Yeah.
If you want that and you sit back in December while you're not in the NCAA FCS playoffs, while you sitting back and you didn't win a conference championship, and you sitting at home watching the Celebration Bowl thinking, what if? I wonder. I wish. Maybe. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. It makes sense now. And with the success that Tennessee State is having right now, it can look good for them to join the MEAC.
I think that Howard, what I received, bro, is everybody and their mama said Tennessee State fans came out in droves to Howard. Like it was packed full of Tennessee State fans at the Howard game. And now Tennessee State has scheduled Howard for its homecoming. To me, I listen, everything in me is I'm on this bandwagon. It's time. It's just time, and you got to figure it out. You got to make a committee that is willing to to what's the word? To protest the NCAA and say, listen, you have been making rules for your favorite kids for way too long. And at this point in time, we need something for ourselves. The APR has got to change for HBCUs. We should get our own playoff system, and we should be able to move to G5. And you build a super conference, and you just do your own thing. And I think it would be, because to me, what the SWAC and what the MEAC are both missing is there's not enough top heavy teams to keep it interesting, right? Like you got 6 teams in the MEAC, 2 are really the top teams. NCCU and South Carolina State, the rest of them get in where they fit in, right? And the same thing in the SWAC. You got 3 or 4 top teams out of 12. Out of 12. If you get 7 or 8 good teams and build it with the last 4 of just like so teams, that is a conference. Every week the games matter. Every week is a loss. It's not no situation to where you're saying, oh yeah, this is wrapped up and this is this and this. It's literally, it's the SEC for the SWAC, or it's the SEC for HBCU football. It's where you get your Georgia and Texas. You get your Texas and Oklahoma. You get your Georgia and Alabama. You get your Alabama and Tennessee. You get your Vanderbilt. Like, you get those matchups every week. And every week matters. And I don't feel that in HBCU football right now. And I think with a super conference with the right 12 teams, every single week it matters. And that's what I want football to be for the super conference. But go ahead, P.
And I think Eddie George is starting to get the recognition being at Tennessee State, like you saw Coach Prime begin to get at Jackson State.
Yeah.
It's going on deaf ears amongst the conference that he's in now, that Big South Ohio Valley Conference matchup that they have. You bring him to the MEAC, you start having him on those key games. You start having Jay and Tiffany talking about him.
Yeah.
The profile begins to rise. The profile for the program begins to rise. Tennessee State fans, I know you look forward to games. Tennessee State is already playing UAPB. They played Howard. They played Valley. They're playing A&T next year. They played Norfolk for homecoming last year. Traditionally, they have used to play FAMU. I've seen them play FAMU in Tampa. And that 100 black men in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm about to say, that used to be crazy. Mr. Campbell always said that was crazy.
You got to get back to the essence of that. That's what gave your fan base of games, marquee games every year to look forward to, and not just homecoming. Give your fan base, you know what? They showed up to Howard. I bet they ain't showing up to Tennessee Tech. I bet they not showing up to Lindenwood and Middleton and who else? Eastern Illinois.
Yeah.
They not showing up to those games and drove because they can care less. The atmosphere is not what they're looking for.
Yeah.
It does. That swag don't match their swag.
Yeah.
Tennessee State, it'll work wonders for you.
I like
it.
On
top of, if they do this, and I know they're looking at the potential, and it seems like they've already kind of been, working with the idea of the fact that how many MEAC teams they continue to play.
Yeah.
Quiet as it's kept, it looks like they're experimenting with it. And then if you're able some type of way to talk Ashley Robinson and Jackson State to get back into that Southern heritage, Tennessee State, your profile will rise tremendously with this move. So if this is something that you're thinking about doing, now A&T, I don't know how long it's going to, A&T killed themselves. What they old school said, they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
When it was rolling, they had it. When it was rolling, they were in a very good position. They just thought they was too smart in this situation. They thought they was too good and moved on, and it set that program back immensely. They are all the way back. It's so bad right now for A&T football. I don't know right now what it could do. Them coming to the MEAC ain't going to make it any better because what MEAC teams have they beaten this year?
That's facts. And NCCU has got their foot on their neck. I'm talking about for real, for real.
But it could help them out to get back on track with their fan base and maybe with recruiting players to get that excitement back each and every week that they once had over in Greensboro. This is the excitement because every time the callers call in from A&T, what's the schools that they highlight?
The Blacks.
That's all they focus on. When I'm asking about Richmond, Campbell, Elon, there's no interest there. They're talking about Winston-Salem State. They're talking about NCCU. They're talking about South Carolina State. It's that old thing that they can't let go. Because when you had it, you thought you was too good for it.
Facts.
Then when you got out there, you realized you was an average Joe. There was nothing special about you in this realm of football and nothing about moving to that CAA. And they were, a game away from winning the Big South. Maybe things would have went different. But then they moved in a direction. Then what you go get? William and Mary's coach. You get rid of Sam Washington, who was right there with Rob Broadway, who had the culture.
Yeah.
But you tried to change the culture to fit the new conference that you was going into.
Ain't work.
The culture is not you there. He's not that culture. It's not A&T. Come on back. Make it a homecoming. Enjoy yourself. Realize that you missed something good and you're ready to get it back. You begging and pleading, baby, I love you. I'm sorry, baby. I was tripping. I ain't understand. I'm sorry. I love you. And Tennessee State looking like shit. You know what? This don't sound too bad. Mm-hmm. And if this is true, once again, I don't know. It's word on the street.
Yeah.
But I promise you, I would love to see this for Black college football. I really would. To add another brand to a premier conference like the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, who has survived a long time. It's been a lot of great players. Tennessee State has been a great program over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about of recent. This is a storied, history-driven program that has had great players to come through that program. The problem is there's a disconnect because from the few HBCUs that they have played, the rest of the HBCU world can care less because it's like after those 3 games, the John Merritt homecoming and maybe a classic, the Southern Heritage, you go on.
Yeah.
You just the cousin who peeked your head through the door and say, hey, I'm just stopping by to say what's up. And they like, where you going? You just got here.
I'm getting the plate. I'll be out.
You just got here. Well, you know, my wife, I got a white wife. You know, we got to go over to her people's house, and they stay about 45 minutes from here. They out in the suburbs. So, yeah, we got to go and get on the road. We got to go and get out there to the suburbs before it gets too late. We just wanted to say, hey to everybody. How y'all doing? Everybody good? Hey, Grandma. And she like, baby, you can't stay for it. No, we got to go. A&T found that out the hard way. I think it's starting to see that. So, come on. This is what we do. It's for us, by us. Why not? The Celebration Bowl is great. It really is. Tennessee State, stop sitting on the sideline. Tennessee State right now is one of the top HBCU teams in the country and has nothing to do with the Celebration Bowl. That could be a payday and a huge day to be on national television for them.
Absolutely.
Because nobody's watching the Ohio Valley Conference games. Nobody cares when you play Lindenwood. Nobody cared when you played Charleston Southern. They care when you played Howard. They for sure gonna care in the John Merritt Classic next year when you play A&T.
Absolutely. That thing gonna be packed.
And regardless of what people think about UAPB, people still care. It's the Southern Heritage.
Yeah. At
least you know it's HBCU versus HBCU. You think don't nobody care? Then schedule Lindenwood and Charleston Southern and put them in the Southern Heritage. If you think you're struggling with the attendance and you don't like what you see, put them in it and then see where it goes. Put Eastern Illinois. So you got me started with this. I love it. If this is the case, I welcome Tennessee State to the MEAC. If this is the case, it's what we've been saying all along. A&T, it's time to bring your ass back and lead them folks along. It ain't beneficial to you. It's taking your program back even further. And right now, who you are as a program in HBCU football is completely irrelevant. Make yourself relevant again.
Yeah, I'm all for it. And again, my mind is bigger than right now. I think Eddie George becomes a huge ally in the battle against the NCAA. And using his profile as a former Ohio State alum, as a legend, as a Tennessee Titan. I mean, like you gotta start having these guys in your back pocket to be your advocates for what you're trying to position yourself for. And if everybody's making the rules in their benefit, there has to be committee members that are pushing the agenda of HBCUs in what they should or should not be trying to do going into this new realm of college athletics. And the first thing I would have to talk about is the APR. APR has to be okay. I'm getting off topic, but at the end of the day, I think no. Okay, so for me, APR has to be the first thing that HBCU say. We can't be measured in the same way. We're not saying take it completely away, but it has to be adjusted by our numbers of enrollment and how it's enforced upon our schools, right? Like it can't just be a blanket APR to where you're trying to punish people who got 30,000 kids and 1,000 leave compared to when you got 9,000 students and 30 leave, right? So it's all of those in a progress to a degree, and it has to be more flexibility. It has to be some understanding there. And if they want to get rid of it, I don't see nothing wrong with that. It's not on to me. And listen, you can say whatever you want. If you feel that taking away kids sitting out in the portal, kids sitting a year out, kids can do an instant transfer and start right away, I don't see why progress to degree should be on the school. That shouldn't be on the school. If you leaving me because you want to leave, why should I care about your progress to degree? The former school. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it was your choice to leave when you decided because you didn't play or you didn't like the position you was in and you was on the bench, now the school you're leaving is getting punished for your decision? No. I'm not.
And as big as Eddie George is as a name, who is tuned in into the Big South Ohio Valley Media Day?
Oh, probably Blue.
What hype are they even giving him in that conference?
That's facts. That's good.
Like, he's just there. They can care less about who he is and his background. There's no sound bites. Nobody is showing him. Nobody. He gets to MEAC Media Day. You begin to see him, I believe, in my perspective, in my opinion, he gets the respect of what everybody else outside of Tennessee State in the HBCU realm believes, that here's a guy of the prestige that he is at an HBCU doing what he's doing and finding success right now, doing it the hard way, building a program. Just a year or two ago, we was talking about, is he even the right person for the job? The struggles. He had Hugh Jackson on the coaching staff.
Yeah.
But right now, if you bring him over to the MEAC, I think then you begin to see the acknowledgement of having someone with the type of background that he has as a head coach in the HBCU ranks, because in that other land, they can care less about him. And A&T, you can't keep saying I'm the largest HBCU and them schools you play in don't give a damn about how large you are, nor HBCU.
Absolutely. Real quick, if you're just joining us right now, we're talking about word on the street. Tennessee State and NCAT are possibly moving back to the MEAC. That is word on the street. This might help your spirit, Perry. I know you're gonna enjoy this. Shout out to the Southern media team. They just sent this over to me while we was on live. This ain't cold. I ain't gonna hold you. This ain't cold. They got the TV screen with all the tweets. I'm gonna zoom in for you, but they got all the tweets from people throughout the week for the.
Read them for me, Scotty. Read what you can at least see.
It says Mook Martin Jackson Braves for the win. Bovair Air is always all corn. Meanwhile, we are headed to Baton Rouge. Southern Princess this weekend. Say cheese. Hope as Pearman, they had time today. Dissertation. Let me see what else we got. Y'all at Lorman, Louisiana Braves. They had time today. All corn. Bet 100 they lose. Just man, crazy. I love it. This is high level trolling right here. Shout out to the Southern media team. This is next. Now I wouldn't have put no on the front. I would have put Kendrick Grimes. Let's just call it a spade. I would have put Kendrick Grimes on the front. But
this should be called let a naysayer know. This is how you let a naysayer know.
Yeah, this is high. This is high level media right here. Absolutely. And once again, shout out to Garrett. Shout out to the guys out there. Shout out to my girl Nori, who does the graphics as well, man. You guys do an excellent job out there, and keep doing what y'all do, man.
I was surprised Nori said she watched this show, because I had been seeing her around one day and I talked to her and I had never really asked her name, but I always speak, hey, give her a hug.
Yeah,
she's around. And I asked her one day, I was like, do you know my name? And she's like, Perry? I was like, well, how you know? She was like, I watch you and Scotty all the time on OFFSCRIPT. I said, I thought that was too ignorant for you. I didn't think you like shit like that. She was like, no, I watched it. So shout out to Nori. I thought maybe we were a little bit, out of her realm, but clearly I can't judge them because clearly a lot of people watch this who I thought we were out of their realm. But people like a little ignorant and they
Every now and again.
give them a little sprinkle of it. And I'm glad that you guys. So shout out to Nori.
Shout out to Nori. Shout out to the media team for sending that over to me. Let's get to a couple callers. 1282 coming to you.
How you doing, man?
What's up? What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Daryl calling from New Orleans, man. Big ups to you guys, man, for staying on top of HBCU football, man. I'm a first time listener. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
I want to chime in on this. What's going on in Grambling, man? My son plays for Grambling, and you guys mentioned Dooley. Grambling has made some very questionable moves as it relates to their front office and their coaching staff. I am of the opinion that they've made a very huge mistake by allowing Robert Valdez to get away. He's a huge recruiter. He has culture, and they made a huge mistake by allowing him to get away.
Who was Howard? You said Robert Valdez?
Yeah, he was a high school coach here in the state of Louisiana. Very successful high school coach. Actually, matter of fact, one of my first playoff games, I had his team. He's down there across the river from Lutcher. It's right across the river from Lutcher.
West St. John?
West St. John. Matter of fact, he was Austin Howard's coach. Austin Howard.
The tight end.
Austin Howard's coach, Austin Howard, who played at Southern.
Yeah, the tight end, right?
Okay, got
you. Quarterback.
Yeah.
The quarterback. Okay, got you.
Yeah, well, my son was recruited out of John Ehret, man. He's a four-star recruit.
St. James is the high school.
And he just wasn't feeling Smith, so he went into the portal, got into Grambling, and he always wanted to play HBCU football. But yeah, I'm being optimistic, and that's the best way I could be, bro. I have nothing else to add to it. But they made a huge mistake by allowing Robert Valdez to get away.
Can I ask you a question? Does your son play offense or defense for Grambling?
Defense. He was actually the HBCU. He was the SWAC defensive player of the week. Andrew Jones, number 6.
Hey, that boy cold. Listen, that boy got NFL. If he can keep doing what he's doing, he definitely got NFL potential because that boy is sideline to sideline for real. Listen, my thing is, I think with Mickey Joseph being a recruiter, he probably didn't feel the need to have him on staff, or he didn't see the benefit of having him on staff. But that's a very shaky situation because I look at it like, I always say this. I don't think Power 5 recruiters are really that good, in my personal opinion, because when you walk into a school and you got LSU on your chest, what do you really have to say?
Right.
LSU gonna sell itself. All you got to do is make it relevant to the kid. And I think when you have a Valdez or people who really, like even with Fred McNair at Alcorn, he made it palatable to the kid of why you should go to Alcorn. And that's, to me, that's real recruiting. That is real recruiting.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, if you're gonna, I remember when I went to school, man, I bought a little car, man, and there was some change in the trunk, and I didn't realize those change were foreign. I threw them away. You know what I'm saying? And the point I'm making is that evaluate your tools before you throw them away. Now I was stuck up there in Maryland, no chains on these tires. I couldn't go anywhere. Why? Because I did not evaluate my tools properly. And what Mickey Joseph may be a good recruiter, still Robert Valdez is keeping him a part of your team. He did not properly evaluate his tools before he threw it away.
That's fair. Man, I appreciate the call, though, sir. But go ahead.
I got one question before you let him go. What's your thoughts with Jason Rollins, who's the defensive coordinator at Grambling? Your honest opinion.
He's just a placekeeper.
Let me ask you another question. How do you feel about the alignment of the linebackers in their defense? It's different. I haven't really seen.
But sir, before you, I've watched my son. I watched my son play at Memphis. I've also paid attention to other schematics in there. I've never. It's baffling. I don't understand it. I don't.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
And it's almost as if they're lost. If look at my son. Let me see. I was at the Alcorn game. I couldn't make last game because I had some prior commitments. And look at the alignment. Look at the confusion that's going on in the backfield. I don't know, man. I like I said, I just want to be optimistic. I'm not going to trash my son's team. I'm shocked, and I'm a lover of Southern, even though I didn't go to Southern. But I'm shocked I'm even rooting for Grambling because I'm only rooting for Grambling because my son goes there. But I'm going to be optimistic, man, and I just hope they can pull us together.
Okay, man. Listen, sir. Anytime.
Hey, if he ain't feeling it, I'm just letting you know. If he ain't feeling it, it's another team in New Orleans at the Bayou Classic he could always play for. That may make you feel a little bit better about yourself.
Well, he was the person that caught the pick last year. He was the only person to record a sack last year at Bayou Classic. But I tell you this, man, when he came out of John Eric, he had a lot of offers. He was heartbroken that not one came from HBCU.
Wow, and that's usually the issue. That's usually always the issue.
When I say he was heartbroken, when we went to his dinner after media day with the University of Memphis, he was really hurt. He was hurt. So, but
just saying, Bayou Class.
Grambling couldn't win a game, but he's still happy with what he's playing. He wants to play for an HBCU.
That's what's up. I love it. I love it.
You want to get in New Orleans at the Classic? I'm just saying, it's me talking. I ain't talking on behalf of the school and nobody. It's me. Hey,
all right.
Just keep that in your back pocket. Just keep that one in your back pocket.
Well, he has 2 more years of. I mean, he has 1 more year, and then there's another year of eligibility, man. And he said he's not going to. Oh, I don't know if I should say this on air, but shit, it's already out now. He's not going to stay his last year of eligibility. That's his intention. I don't know if I'm able to say that or not, but those are his plans.
All right. Appreciate you, Mr. Jones. Thank you so much for the call.
No problem.
All right.
No problem, man. Bye.
Hey, man. I love
that. Fresh
off
the press.
Hey, listen. Hey, that's hot news. That's breaking news. Grambley, you on the clock, baby. Grambley, you on the clock, baby. You on the clock. Don't go to JSU. A&T Roy, coming to you.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's going on? Soon to be MEAC member.
Hey, man, listen. There's a whole lot of words on the street. People want to do this. People want to do that. That don't mean it's gonna happen. So you know what is on the street. You know what's solid on the street?
Y'all getting y'all ass whooped by the blacks. That's solid on the street. That ain't word. That ain't hearsay. I saw that with my own 2 eyes. Y'all getting y'all ass waxed by the blacks. Waxed by the blacks.
Hey, that is only the second time I've been wrong all year. Yes, we got beat by the blacks. We only beat one. But man, listen, we are very early in this CAA thing.
Hold on. I could have recalled me saying that you wouldn't win 2 games a season. I think that was me. I think I said that.
Wait a minute now. Hold up. No, you talking about every season. And we just in our second season.
Okay.
I mean, so yeah, man, and matter of fact, we still got 5 games left. And you saw that number 5 Villanova got beat by unranked Maine in the CAA this week, right?
I don't care. They not you. You suck. You are trash, boy. You getting beat by 40 by Hampton. You ass. What you talking about?
I don't have a problem with that. We are trash, and that other word you just used. I agree with that right now. But we are early in this CAA thing, and matter of fact, we got to transform our roster to be able to be at the level that we need to be at, and that is in progress. So I really don't care what the word on the street is. Here's what I know about A&T.
This A&T
We
Roy.
are doing things that are not being done, and we're looking at different stuff than what other HBCUs are doing. R1, the highest level of college football. So it's a whole different vibe and a whole different way and plan of what we're doing.
Let me ask you this. You looking at your head coach, he in the press conference. Is he the guy for the job?
I don't know the answer to that. And here's why. It's because he doesn't have his guys in yet.
Oh,
I need at least
shut up,
3
Roy.
full recruiting classes.
What are you talking about? In this day and age, you don't need 3 years to get your guys in. It's a goddamn portal that you can get guys in tomorrow. What are you talking about?
Well, that depends on how you're using the portal. Do you want to build a team full of portal guys, or do you want to build a team based off high school and supplement with portal guys?
What is A&T building?
High school supplement.
The $1 million question is, what is A&T building right now? They look like they're building up a bunch of losses on the schedule.
Well, hey, listen, don't get me wrong. I don't like these losses. I don't like how we're losing. But again, we are still early in this process of overhauling our roster to be able to compete at the level we need to be able to compete at. And so, listen, I understand everybody wants microwave. Sometimes you get the microwave, you come in, you do well and all that stuff. But most times it does not happen like that. There are very few Deion Sanders out there. Listen, Eddie George, what's this, his 4th year?
Listen.
They finally turned it around.
Listen. Okay, I don't like Pothole State, but you got to give credit to TC Taylor to lose 60 guys and turn around and go 7-4. Now, I'm not saying he would have went 7-4 in the CAA. If they was in the CAA, I would have told you they would have got their ass waxed too. Most HBCUs will get their ass waxed in the CAA. Let's just keep it a buck outside of NCCU. But let's just keep it, if we're just keeping it a buck, A&T Roy, it was a bad decision. Listen, all the other sports, you're competitive. I'll give you that. I'm not taking nothing away from all your other sports. But when it comes to football, A&T Roy, it was a bad decision. And there's no way you're going to get around it. And there's no way you're ever, listen, bro, you will never win 3 games. You will never win 3 conference games. Never. As long as you're in the CAA, you will never win 3 conference games.
Scotty, do you know there was a time we went 0-27?
I don't care.
You know that?
I don't care. It's about to be now.
Here's what I'm saying. We went 0-27, but then a few years later, we got the greatest
in the blacks with the blacks.
HBCU football.
You not with the blacks no more. You with the whites. They different.
I get it. But that don't mean we can't turn around what we have going today. You see it all the time. The Dallas Cowboys went 1-15 one year.
I don't care. Listen, you're not comparing apples to apples. Apples to apples? What? You did that? No, you're not comparing apples to apples. You're not. I don't care what you're talking about, because you're talking about a Dallas Cowboy team that has a budget like everybody else has a budget. You're talking about you guys trying to compete in a program where you're the brokest Bamas on the block. You're the brokest Bamas on the block. What are you talking about? It is not apples to apples.
I get you. So what y'all don't know is we are growing our budget. We are getting ready to upgrade. And matter of fact, we already started upgrading our facilities to be at least the top half of the CAA.
I don't listen.
So that stuff hasn't even happened yet.
I don't care.
What are you talking about?
Do not care. You're still going to be, you're never, listen to my words very carefully, A&T Roy, before I let you go. You will never win 3 conference games in football in the CAA. It will never happen. Never. Unless Valley and UAPB go to the CAA. That's the only time you will ever win 3 games in the CAA. And that's not happening. So what are we talking about?
And I got something to
make sure you keep this. Hey, don't lose this video, because in a few years I'm coming back to you.
Clip it.
And it's gonna be ugly.
Clip it.
It's gonna be ugly, Scotty.
Clip it.
It's gonna be a few years. You're gonna be in the MEAC. Listen, it's nothing that y'all building right now, and I know what you're talking about. You're trying to build a program. Literally, it's nothing that shows that y'all building to compete to be CAA champions. Nothing. Where are y'all ranked in the CAA when it comes to the recruiting class last year?
Now. You can talk trash now while we're not winning, but when we start winning, I'm gonna be all over y'all like
Where
white,
did
black on white,
y'all,
whatever you want to call it.
A&T Roy, where did y'all rank last year in the
Yeah.
CAA in terms of a recruiting class?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You ain't building shit. Y'all just simple as that.
No,
if you don't know that, because if
it
you
really
did,
don't
you
mean
would have
much.
bragged and said,
It really
look,
don't mean
Scotty.
much.
What do you-
Campbell had the top
How is
recruiting
it now?
class 2 years
How
in a
does
row.
it not? Hold on, talk about. How does it not mean much when you're telling me the reason that you're not winning is because he ain't got his guys? That's not making sense to me, A&T Roy. You can't come over here and say he needs his guys, and then all of a sudden now his recruiting class don't matter.
No. Here's what I'm saying. Those rankings don't necessarily mean much because look, Campbell had the top recruiting class 2 years in a row in the FCS.
Okay.
What are they doing?
Got more wins than you.
So
got more wins than you.
Huh?
Got more wins than you.
It ain't much. It ain't much.
It's more. And it's more. And they beat some whites. Which you ain't never done.
Hey, look, we still got 5 games to beat some whites. So it ain't over with, baby.
I got something for you, A&T Roy. Cry me a river, build a bridge, and then get over it. How about that?
Yeah, whatever. Hey, listen, don't come crying to me when we turn this thing around and I come over here and I told y'all so, because I ain't gonna hold back.
The only thing you turning around, A&T, is the moving truck back to the MEAC. That's the only thing you turning around is the moving truck back to the MEAC.
Enough of this, Scotty.
Baby. That ain't happening. Trust me.
Enough of this, Scotty.
We on some different stuff.
Thank you for the call, A&T Roy. Come on, man. Go jump on a CAA podcast and talk your shit. How about that? Go jump on a CAA podcast and talk your shit and see how they respond to you. They be like, what? In-cat? You talking about Valley? That's our Valley.
The school losing to the black schools?
Come on, we don't do that. Not in the CAA. Smash coming to you at 4,800. Then we're gonna move on. They call you live.
Hear you. What's good, fella? Hey, man, listen. Do y'all understand? I know it's a ball soon. Do y'all understand what if Tennessee State and any cat go to the MEAC, what that's gonna do for the fucking band world? Like, I know you might not cast out of a dog. Them seats gonna be filled. But you let Southern and NCAT get a damn fucking MEAC challenge and you fucking want to. You gonna feel back, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be crazy. Or you let Tennessee State, Tennessee State is fun. They'll go crazy. Or Tennessee State is the Jackson for Cassidy, but dog, that's gonna go crazy. I just want y'all to know from a band standpoint, that is like heaven. Another thing, Scotty, I ain't let your ass off the hook, my guy. You remember you picked FAMU, right? So every loss that they take, you gotta take. You know what I'm saying? So I hate you. Shit, that's your team.
I hate you. Because you made me. You made me do that. You made me do that.
And when they lose, I'm gonna clip that show like a motherfucker. Hey, shout out to Jack for beating them. Parrot talk your shit. Cause at the end of the day, your team up. And his team ain't looking too good for him because I don't think Jack can lose no more. So guess what? You gotta lose with him, ride that FAMU ship. I am out this bitch. So when you talk about teams, make sure you talk about your team and how
we'll see you at Bragg. We'll see you at Bragg this week and see if you're still talking that mess next week. We'll see you at Bragg next week. See if you're still talking that mess then.
Hey, listen, at the end of the day, it don't count.
Yes, it do. No. You're mistaking, my guy. It doesn't. All conference losses matter. It's not just divisional. It's all conference losses. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Scott, you know what's gonna be crazy though? At the end of the day, let's just say, you know me, I wanted you to pick a team, and you was bold because you picked FAMU because you thought that they had a fire chance to win back. I know that's why you picked FAMU. Don't try to act like it's FAMU and Dr. Campbell and all that. Nah, you picked the best team because you thought that's what it was gonna be. Even if we're sitting at home, that's gonna be next to me. Just take a walk again. Your ass. But no, Scotty, man. Hey, Terry, talk your shit. We up right now. You know what I'm saying? Beat your chest, Scotty. Got full of those chicken fingers and everything that he had this weekend. So he can try to play like he had a good time at Southern. You are rolling with family. You my guy, and that's what it is. Well, at the end of the day, I'm talking about. I'm out of here, man.
All right, appreciate it. Listen, I'm still rocking. I'm still rocking with fam. 4,800 coming to you.
Yo, what's up? Yo, I pray that Tennessee State and NCAT come over back to the MEAC. I think one of the things that we missing, man, we're missing the marquee matchups. And as much as I'm a Rattler and I want us to beat everybody, I hate the fact that after Jackson State is basically no one else to play. And I go to all the games, but I go to Valley just to get some Kool-Aid pickles. I go to Southern to get some tea cakes because I know we're going to win the game. So now I'm just sitting around looking for something to eat. But I think if people that have, have a deep history of the HBCUs come to the games and they can see, like, this team got a receiver, this team got a running back, this team got a linebacker, this team putting up crazy points. I think you go from 20,000, 40,000 in the stands to 50, 60, 70 like it was in the early 2000s. And for me, I just think back to like when FAM was 9-1, BCU was 9-1, and you go into the Florida Classic and
everything's on the line. Yeah, everything's on the line. Yep.
It's for the state bragging, it's bragging rights, it's for the MEAC, and it's for, it's for everything. And now if your money a little tight, you thinking, nah, I got to buy that ticket because this game is going to be everything. Versus like even now as a Rattler, every time I see BCU lose, I just say, damn, Classic going to probably be 40,000 this year.
Yeah,
because it's going to draw, but I think HBCU could be something special. And all I've ever wanted was to see HBCU just be that preeminent league as it's supposed to be. The only thing I push back a little bit sometimes is I want us to play some of the white schools. I mean, I'm not saying put 4 on the schedule. It bothers me to see that sometimes we get waxed. Like we have a great team and we get waxed by a subpar PWI in the FCS conference. So when you walk around saying I'm 10-1, it don't feel as real because it's like, yeah, but you got smacked by a team that's 5-5 at another conference. But if we can put it together and put the players together, put the marquee matchups, it's on. And then you're gonna play in Atlanta, like Tennessee State, FAMU, and Atlanta. Both teams are 7-1, high-powered offenses, great defenses. It's gonna sell out. So I again, and you talk about this a lot. I just pray that the leadership can be as innovative and really take it to the next level. That's pretty much it. I like what y'all talking about, and I'm excited. I want to go to Nashville. I went to Nashville just to hang out. Nashville is a dope city, so I want family to go to Nashville and play Tennessee State. Of course, win, but it's a dope city, man. So I definitely hope that's what's about to happen. And I want to see I want to see like every week be a must-see TV. Just like if you look at the SEC, even some of the scrub teams, Arkansas can knock off a big dog. Something like that. So, yeah, that's all I call to say. But thanks for having me on.
I appreciate you. Appreciate the call. Now, let me say this before we move on. I think if you do a super conference, you have to have a standard of no, you can't play a conference team as an out-of-conference opponent. That's done. You can't do it. Can't do it. And that you have to schedule one FCS opponent in your open out-of-conference. Like you can do the only D2s that you can do are either your rival D2s, but outside of that, you can't do no link-ins. You have to have a standard that you're putting in place. It's no different. And I'm going to say it again. It's no different than that new Rudy that they're trying to impose with the 70 teams of saying, hey, you can't play no more money games. You got to play the 70 teams that are within your bubble. And I think for HBCUs, you gotta put the same restraint on them because the MEAC is not going to be okay with just play. That's not how they get down. You get what I'm saying? Like they like playing out of conference opponents. They like playing big time schools because they're known to beat them. That's their whole mystique. That's what makes the MEAC the MEAC. So you can't bring that SWAC mentality into a super conference of a MEAC. It just doesn't, to me, there's no balance with that. So if to make everybody happy, you have to have rules to where you have to play PWI FCS opponents or PWI money games. Everybody has got to do it to be a part of it. And I think that's where you really see the conference gets its recognition by doing that. That's one. And then two, football can be taken seriously because these guys are all, you don't have a Jackson and Southern schedule like the last 2 years where Southern literally had a whole SWAC schedule. And it was Lincoln. It was like Lincoln for homecoming. It was just something crazy like that, right? It has to be rules to that thing. And that's my whole premise on it. What you got, Pete, before we move on?
I think also with dealing with a super conference, what I would like to see, because it'd be difficult for a Prairie View playing a Delaware State, right?
Yeah.
Across the country from each other. But what I like about the idea of it is the old school. It brings back the idea of the classics, the Circle City Classic in Indianapolis, the Gateway Classic in St. Louis, the Chicago Football Classic in Chicago, the Detroit Football Classic. You now put yourself in Atlanta, the Atlanta Football Classic. You now put yourself in a position where you force these promoters of these games to be able to come together and make these payouts on top of covering travel for some of those games that typically would be hard to do at home and home. And then you can sit down and say, you know what? We can do a Prairie View versus a Howard in the Chicago Football Classic. Ooh. We can do an NCCU versus Grambling in the Circle City Classic. We can do a Southern University versus Norfolk in Detroit for a Detroit Football Classic. You then take the footprint instead of trying to live home and home, in which you may not get the crowd necessarily that you want, but now you get to take it back to the old school way of taking your show on the road and once again putting it in area with large African-American populations of students that you can recruit, athletes that you can recruit, and what it can do for your brand, taking your school in these major markets. Remember, it's about the major markets because that's what the television rights was all about. Now you can take your schools back into these major markets, find it to be profitable to play some of these games, to be able to have your band, your cheerleader, and everything else in terms of auxiliary to be a part of it, and be an opportunity to be a recruiting tool to be in that market for that weekend. HBCUs in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, and thus far beyond that, use these classics to do that, to cut the cost and use it as opportunities to get into the Midwest where these large pocket of African-American populations lived in these urban areas and what we consider predominantly Black cities.
This is my only pushback on that, P, is that some of those games you want to experience at home and home. Like even though it might be tough for Howard fans to come to a Prairie View to come to a Howard, some of those games you really want to experience because they're not usually games that you would see on.
Some of these games just not designed for home and home. I mean, you can play them home and home. It ain't designed to give you that feel because we don't have the fan base that'll travel to Grambling to say coming from South Carolina State. But you know what enticed them? Maybe Chicago sounds better to take the family. Maybe Indianapolis sounds better to take the family. Maybe Detroit sounds better to take the family. It's just it's the idea that intrigues you about those classics because the classics hold weight more so than that home and home. I love the home and home, but some of these matchups just won't give you from far away to close, just won't give you that because they tried the MEAC SWAC Challenge home and home for 2 years. South Carolina State came to Southern, Alcorn went to Bethune-Cookman. When they pulled it out of Birmingham, then they went to Orlando. It didn't give that same feel. Well, some of these schools are just too far, but guess what? You can make it something profitable and you can make it worth your while if you put events around it behind the classic. And I'm just using this because these classics once were the hotbed of these type of matchups, SWAC and MEAC matchups that you were able to get on a big stage. Ask Grambling when they used to play FAMU, when FAMU was in the MEAC, Grambling was in the SWAC going to the Circle City Classic. Southern going up playing, I think Southern played Alabama A&M 1 year in the Circle City Classic. Jackson State played in the Chicago Classic. Valley, Texas Southern, UAPB, it does wonders for you to recruit because at the end of the day, although, yes, the home and home, only a few schools, as you know, going to give you a true home feel environment for home and home. But if you want to sell this, especially as an HBCU conference, super conference, some of these games you're going to have to take on the road because it won't give you a Prairie View versus Howard ain't gonna give you that at Prairie View or at Howard, but it'll give you that in Chicago.
My thing is the only issue I have on that is I think there's gonna be empty classic seats. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my thing. But this is how I would do it: is that you kind of do it like a Tennessee State and North Dakota State, right? Like a home and home like that. So it's like you have it in 2021 and it comes back in 2023. Like it wouldn't be like a consistent like it wouldn't be like that. It will literally be a 1 year setup, and then maybe a couple years down the line you get that game back at your home stadium, something like that. But I just to make all these classics, I just think it's gonna be empty seats at classics.
It's gonna be empty seats at classics. That's the whole point. I mean, you're not gonna get 70,000 every time unless it's a marquee matchup, but you can get 20, 30,000. 20, 30,000 on top of, guess what? You can find a new student in Chicago, in Indianapolis, in St. Louis, in Detroit that's going to help you in terms of recruiting to your school. I'm looking at the bigger picture. You're going to get the interest. You tell these kids there's going to be some bands in Black College. For a lot of them, this is how, once again, for you, it took Dion to open your eyes.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it was the HBCU classics in these cities that opened their eyes, especially Chicago, to learn about Alabama A&M. Chicago and Milwaukee to know about Jackson State. St. Louis and Chicago to know about UAPB. It's these cities that are hotbeds for the next generation of students that may not get a chance to experience that. You can take these matchups that may not be so great for home and home and take them there. If you get 20,000, 30,000, that's better than what you're going to get at the home and home. And you got two bands, and let the schools utilize it as a major recruiting tool. You're all over the market that week talking about the big game leading up into this weekend. And we ain't talking what we've seen it fall into now, where you'll have a FCS versus D2 or two D2 Central State playing Wilberforce or something like that.
Yeah.
No, you're going to have premier schools that have names that are going to draw the interest. And at the end of the day, you want to market yourself. And if you're going to have a super conference, it's time to put yourself in markets where you can generate more students to the conference, to these schools. And you have to go in these hotbed of major metropolitan cities that have African Americans. And if you're going to do this, you have to present yourself in order to grow and start putting yourself in markets. So 1 year it is Prairie View and Howard. Then the next year is Southern South Carolina State.
I like that
then
better.
The next year
I like
is
that
Gramnbling,
better.
Tennessee
Yeah.
State.
I like that.
You got to rotate that. You got to give them that field.
Yeah,
that
like
opens the door for so many opportunities for us to recruit in these areas that once used to be hotbed for HBCUs.
Yeah, I like that idea. Just rotating teams in and out the classics. That's I definitely go with that one. All right, let's move on. It was a rough week. Missed it by one. Perry got me. What did you get? I think you got me on the Gramnbling UAPB game. Yeah, the Gramnbling UAPB game. That's where you got me.
And
Southern Alcorn.
Yeah.
All right. Both of us picked Valley. Got that wrong. Shout out to Bethune for finally getting a win. Got South Carolina State. We both had Tennessee State, Hampton as well. All right. Now, overall results. Oh, my bad. I didn't put mine there. It's
79 and 26.
79-26. Yeah.
But it looked good like that. That's all right.
I'm not getting my butt whooped that bad.
I'm holding on. I'm 4 weeks strong right now. I'm holding on for a month.
Yeah, I've been slacking. I've been taking a lot of risk. And I'm definitely not picking Southern. I mean, God, dog.
Still damn good percentage right there. Nonetheless.
Nonetheless. All right. Let's get to the week 8 recap. And you already know, first up, gotta hit them with a little bit of, oh shoot. I ain't get my soundtrack right. I gotta get my soundtrack right.
What was funny was Rocky couldn't wait to hit that gunshot button.
Dog, he was tearing my joint up. And you know how big Rocky is, and he just leaning into it. I said, bro, if you break.
If you go back and watch the video, I'm looking at your eyes, you just really looking at it like
don't break my shit. Like that's really why I was like, don't break. Because I'm like, dude, you are too big to be pushing that button that hard, bro. For real. Like he was pushing that button hard as a mug. I was like, come on, man. Come on, Rock. Don't break my stuff, man. I mean, he got the money to do it. It's just the principle. All right. It's just the principle about it. All right. You know who the attendant is. 3-time. What the hell happened award winner?
What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy?
We should all know what happened to AT&T. They always get it happen.
What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy?
What happened to that boy? 59-17. Walk the plank is what Hampton told him 3 times. What the hell happened to that boy? Pray, break it down for us.
Hampton said, we don't need no damn band to show up with us. We got our football team. And if it's homecoming, we'll treat it like ours. And look, you don't want to get embarrassed homecoming. And a sellout. This game been sold out for how long? For months.
Months. For an ass whooping.
And this is how you sat there and repaid all those hard paying, traveling. Just listen. 59-17, the final in this one. Hampton came in and rolled all over North Carolina. A&T. It was 14-3. A&T was up 14-3 in the first quarter. Hampton then goes on to score 21 points in the second quarter, making 24-14 at halftime. And then how about the fourth quarter? Hampton really woke up, scored 28 points in the fourth quarter to pull away in this one. The Pirates, 436 total yards of offense, 188 yards in the air, 248 yards on the ground. On the other side, it was a tough day for A&T, and I think the third down conversions will tell you. 2 of 14 on third down, 2 of 4 on fourth down, 299 total yards, 240 in the air, only 59 on the ground, 3 turnovers in this ball game for A&T, 2 by way of interception, 1 fumble, and 11 penalties for 100-plus yards in this one. Very heavily penalized, undisciplined for A&T in this ball game. Malcolm Mays, 8 of 10 for 108 yards, threw for a touchdown, also an interception. You know my boy, I like Christopher Zealous. He got some PT in this one. 10 of 15 for 82 yards and a passing touchdown. Jaquan Snipes, 8 carries, 71 yards, and then Brennan Ridley, 6 receptions for 98 yards and a touchdown. It was basically all A&T. It was nothing they could do. Elijah Burris was a little quiet in this one, 7 carries for 47 yards, but what the hell, when you have running back by committee running for over 200-plus yards, it was nothing A&T could do. Hampton gets the victory, spoils A&T homecoming, and once again, the Aggies remain winless in the CAA.
What happened to that boy?
Hey, listen, this is a crazy stat by Blue. He said A&T has gave up an average of 56 points per game to the Blacks.
Let's look at it. They played Winston-Salem, went into overtime 27-20. They won that one. They played North Carolina Central. They lost 66-24. And playing Hampton 59-17, and then South Carolina State 45-25. Each one of those games are 20-plus blowouts.
That's crazy.
But you telling me you're building to compete in the CAA.
And let's be very clear, Hampton is a CAA conference opponent. Your conference opponent, who is just as broke as you, beat you by 40 at your homecoming. If I was an A&T fan, I don't care. They'd be like, oh, they love to bring up, we used to go, we've been 0-27. I don't give a damn. Put a paper bag over your head. Like, it is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
And with Villanova and William and Mary coming up as well, it ain't going to get any easier. They got Campbell up next. Villanova is 5-2. William and Mary is 5-2 on the season. 2 teams that can run you out of a stadium. They got Towson and Elon to end the season. Do they win it? Do they even get a game?
No. Paris, you wrong for that one. Choo-choo. Woo! Paris, you wrong for that one. That's funny, though. Man, listen, walk the plank.
What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy?
Perry, you told me you had a segment. You said Southern got something to say. What you got?
First of all, I want to know where all the Alcorn fans at. They was rolling up at us on me on the show, talking noise, talking about Lorman, Louisiana. How the hell is it Lorman, Louisiana? You lost this one and the last one. When you name a stadium or a city that's supposed to be in honor of you, that means you had great success. That's why you heard Southern fans talking about Jackson and Veterans Memorial for 10 years. That's why you still hear us talking about Prairie View right now. Yeah, you may be here, but you don't really want to be here. You really don't want to hear what I have to say. You just here to be here, just to save face. But at the end of the day, it was homecoming. Scotty, I want to say, man, thank you for coming down, man. I hope you enjoyed yourself. You had an opportunity to see it. And I talked about it last Monday. Did I make up anything in terms of what I said it was going to be like?
Nah, not really. The traffic was crazy. It was a lot of people. It was a lot of people. Yeah, no. I mean, it was a lot of food, man. That La Burge, what is it called? La Burge?
That's the casino.
Hey, that was I love that. That was nice. Open bar, got as many sprites as I wanted. I love that. I'm good. That was a fire. I appreciate the bracelet. Appreciate
it. And it was a good time and it was an opportunity. Now what you see is that big game that I say Southern been needing. Did it make sense when, I mean, a lot of people didn't understand when I said when you finally get Southern fans to show up to the big game against opponents, you got to get that victory. This for Southern was the big game. You had to battle for the SWAC West on the line. It was homecoming. It was two teams right up the same highway from each other on Highway 61. The same highway. You turn off one to get to one school, you turn off the other to get to another. You know what made this one so good for the Southern fans? It was finally a big game with the big crowd where the Jaguar Nation showed up, whether it was on the road or at home, to be able to see the Southern Jaguars get a victory. This is what has upset Southern fans for the past few years. It has been, what can we do in the big game? And for this one, it left fans leaving, speaking, and feeling high of themselves. And it was right what we needed when they say just a dose of that adrenaline, give you a little energy. Southern was long overdue for this one. And no better way to do it with the magnitude of what was at stake in this game. And listen, there was a lot of drinking going on. There was a lot of eating going on. There was a lot of smoking going on. Listen, the weed was so loud out. It was louder than Southern's band. It was so loud out there. That's how loud the weed was out there. And y'all know that loud pack that I'm talking about. Louder than Southern's band. It was a good time. Ass was out. It was a good time. Scotty, I ate so much. And look, I got sick of eating. I didn't want to eat another damn dirty rice, ribs, chicken, goddamn beans. I don't want nothing. Don't give me nothing. I'm trying to eat stuff that I didn't eat out there.
Yeah.
For the rest of the week. I was stuffed everywhere I went. I just hate La Burge was out of that macaroni though. That was the one I wanted. So much drink, I had to sit down and just take time for myself. I had to just recoup for a minute. You wasn't with me at this time. It took me about 30 minutes. I had to recoup. I had to let it settle in on me. It came to me. It hit me. But nonetheless, I got something to say. For all the naysayers out there, all the haters, everybody that thought Southern wasn't going to be shit, for everybody that believed in Alcorn, including yourself, because as you made your pick, I kept yelling, and I apologize for interrupting you while you was doing it, but I just could not understand why would you do that? Why was you picking them? But I get it. It was Alcorn, the name, I guess, said something. And shout out to Fred McNair, paying them back, being on that sideline, saying, you know what? This for you. The little sad Braves. That's who they are, the little sad Braves. They left out of here sad, hurt. Couldn't believe they lost to Southern. We lost to Southern. Yes, you did. And I had a good time watching it. It was a good game. It really was. But at the end of the day, it was for the crowd. It was for the people. And you couldn't have picked a better time with the entire city of Baton Rouge. LSU wasn't in town, so it was all Southern. Southern had Baton Rouge all to itself. 100,000 people out, another 30,000 at the game. Because while the game was going on, there was still another 60,000 just out kicking it. Just all around. And to know Southern won that game, we needed this. It was good for us. It's good for our soul. It was good for our soul, and it felt good. This was the big game that when I told y'all at the beginning of the year, we showed up to McNeese, we lost. We needed that victory at Jackson State, we lost. At home against Nichols, we lost. Now with something on the line, against a rival considered up the street Alcorn, a team that has traditionally had your number, and with first place in the SWAC West, this was what was needed, and it couldn't have came at a more perfect time for Southern fans and myself, and I'm happy to have watched the victory. That was something, that I thought brought excitement to a lot of people, and regardless of all the, the issues that people had, it feels better to have those issues with a win, because had Southern lost, all those issues people complain about would have made it 100 times worse. About the traffic, about all the ass that was out. It would have been 100 times worse, but they toned it down because it felt good to get a victory. So, G, what uncle? What's Uncle Elvin?
Yeah.
Where you at? Well, damn. Well, damn. Where he get his look. He get that cigar. Well, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, screen record this and put that up so they can hate me. Unc. If you want the limelight, you got it right here, Unc. I told you on the call Monday. He said, well, I talk shit with the best of them. What I say? Fuck Alcorn. And I stand by it. Play next for me. Because when you heard this in that stadium, hey, God, you was like, oh, shit. They might do it. Oh, shit, I can't believe my eyes. Everybody was in that thing. Oh. Woo! Trying to be a little humble about it, but I can't help it. It was a good homecoming, and no better homecoming to beat a team for first place who came in talking all the shit. I don't even think they took us serious, honestly. They had it in their mind this was just going to be a pushover. Look, I know when I get to talk, you don't like that, Southern, because you get all serious. Look, A&T had you. You was ready, hey. But when Southern get that dub, people don't like it. You don't like it. People don't like it. And it's okay. And most of all,
I'm just giving you your space. I'm just giving you space to talk your mess.
I know, because normally you'll jump on and be like, you know what, you right, Perry. But when it comes to Southern, you don't never do that.
Why? Why would I do that?
I know. Why would you do it? I was hoping we fed you enough for at least this week. You'll be like, you know what? Hey.
I did agree with you. You said that everything that I say did not happen at homecoming. I said, yeah, you did. I agree with you.
It was a family reunion. And no better way to leave a family reunion talking about something good, and that's whooping Alcorn's ass and sending them back to the country with a well-whooped ass, the little sad Braves.
Listen, so when the game, it's two things. It's funny when you hear people doing the neck. Some people want to cuss. Some people don't want to cuss. They be like, it's funny, like, talking out the side of your neck. Trick. And then some people say, bitch. Like, it's funny. But with Key, it's funny because she's not really entertained by football, but she just likes Southern enough that she doesn't want to see Southern lose, right? So when Alcorn scored, she looked at me, she's like, they better not piss me off today. I said, I was laughing because she don't get like that. And she only gets like that for Ohio State. And even when Ohio State win or lose, like, she don't know nothing about Ohio State players. She don't care. Is this Ohio State better win? And that's the vibe she was giving me when she was watching the Southern game. She was just like, they pissing me off. Like, they better win. And
that's what we've been feeling all year. And Scotty took a shot. I'm here to tell you, he took a shot.
I did.
He took a shot. I saw him because I poured it up myself. And he took a shot. He toasted and he knocked that thing and didn't make a face. So I appreciate y'all for coming down and joining and then being able to tell the world about it, because once again, I am an ambassador of Southern University. A lot of people think I talk shit. A lot of people see I do stuff for the band. I do stuff for football. I kind of have my hands dabbled all around the place, but I'm an ambassador. Anybody, if you come to Baton Rouge and I fool with you, my goal is to show you a good time. So when you go back and you speak about it, you're going to say, man, look, I don't give a damn about nothing else. I had a good time. That's what my job is when you come here. As a loyal supporter and lover of Southern University, it's my job to show you hospitality. You know, sometimes, Scotty, you get the folks, they talk all that talk. Yeah, come on down, man. Come on down. When you get there, you can't even barely get up with it. Like, hey, man, yeah, I'm in town. Oh, yeah, hold on. I had to get up with you later, man. I got to do XYZ.
Yeah. Nah,
then you don't see him, then hit him up the next day. Hey, man, I'm at the stadium, man. Where you want me to be? Man, shit, I ain't even got there yet, man. When I get there, then when you do, if you do see him, it's real quick, man. I got to run. They ain't trying to open up nothing to you.
Yeah.
That ain't what's going to happen here. So I'm an ambassador. I'm a proud and happy ambassador. And I make sure, because what's the most important, when you know people that are in positions to go out with a mass audience that's going to listen, it's our duty to show them a good time, because at the end of the day, it's all about marketing. You say it best all the time. Why don't we go get these TikTokers and these Instagrammers and these social media influencers and bring them in and show them a good time, because when they get back on their platform, you know what they're going to talk about?
The good time they had.
Woo, boy, we had a time last night. That's what it's all about. So when you did your show earlier about Southern, a lot of Southern people shared that. Just talking about your experience. Because you know what? To hear from an outsider of somebody who had never seen homecoming before, and it's for any school out there, right? Everybody's going to say they have the best homecoming, because we all have not been to every homecoming. And we know it's a certain years determine good homecomings too.
Facts.
Certain years just determined. It's just, you have a good year where it's memorable, then the next year it's like, okay, it's
fast. It's all right. Yeah.
It was a good homecoming, you know. This one was magical. This one was, and I've been around for a while, and I even talked to people who've been around longer than me. This was probably one of the largest ones people ever experienced. The interest, the amount of people just, and I told you, if get to campus at 6 that morning, it was people in traffic 2 and 3 hours and only went 2 blocks. That's the type of interest it was to this game, and the type of excitement and fun that you were going to have. But at the end of the day, Scotty, most importantly, I did this just out the bottom of my heart to make sure at the end of the day, Scotty had a good time, to see that why I love Southern so much, it ain't no facade. I had to show you what that love looked like, and why the same love that they gave you was the love they gave me when I came here. And that's why I love Southern so much, the hospitality, the people. When they believe in you, they show you that they believe in you. It ain't just a word. It ain't just a pat on the back. It's the actions. And so I put you around to make sure that you see that action, and you were going to be around it anyway. But that we already know there's a lot of people that'll tell you all that, hey, yeah, come here, come do this, come do that. Then when you get there, they ain't doing shit.
No, man, listen, I said it on my show earlier. I was like, I felt like you was that club promoter that be like, hey, these two, they with me. They with me. They good. No. I don't know them. I don't know them. But these two right here, they with me, right? And I really appreciated that, because, you know, we got in places and got to experience things that we wouldn't have been able to do just being me, you know what I'm saying? Just being Scotty, walking around. And I truly, really appreciate that. And I can't tell you enough how much that meant to me and Key, that you took the time out, even driving us around campus on Friday, because it's parts of the campus we just hadn't seen, that you took us and say, hey, yeah, this is where the river is, and this is where the RTC building is. And he's like, you never seen this? Like, nah, we ain't go this far behind, you know what I'm saying? So just all those little things, man. And we appreciate the day party. We didn't know about the day party you did, right? So it's all of those things that we got to experience and meet people and have a good time. So I enjoyed it. But I think the crescendo for me was just seeing a sold out stadium, like from the rooter to the tutor, like the jank was just packed. I'm talking about packed. I thought that was just a great experience overall in the engagement that J-Max brought to the crowd with yelling and cheering and everything like that. It was amazing, man. So absolutely, by far, it was a great experience.
And Southern, anytime, I've always said, if they bring anybody, I don't care if it's a celebrity, somebody, send them to Perry White. Let them come have, because I'm going to take them amongst the people. You know, because a lot of times when you get people of stature, you get the corporate look.
Yeah.
We're going to take you to the suites. We're going to hide you. We're going to go over here. You're going to always be around the not so fun people.
Yeah.
We was on the strip. We was right in the heart of it.
Yeah.
We went over. We was everywhere.
Yeah.
And it ain't trying to be fancy and bougie. Hell no. You hungry? Get some more. You want a drink? Hey, what y'all want?
Yeah.
Hey, that's my boy Scotty. This is wife. This up. That's how you want to be treated. You don't want it. Hey, all that. Hey, you know, how are you? What's happening, nigga? What's up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. Happy homecoming. How many times you heard me say happy homecoming?
Oh my gosh.
I'll wear you out with that. If I ain't got nothing else for you, happy home. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about being an ambassador and showing people the real, man. All that corporate and, you know, and I get some people are, you know, the uppity type, but if you want a good time, you got to get amongst the people. That's what a good time is. It ain't up there in that box. I went to the box. I know how they get down in the box, right? They don't even be watching the game half the time in the box. It's too political. It's networking.
Yeah.
But you got to get amongst the people. On top of, it ain't always about riding around on a cart everywhere. Sometimes you got to put the boots to the ground, walk around, shake hands, see people, talk to people, get an understanding of what the environment looks like to say, you know what?
Hey, don't let Perry fool you, right? So we walk in. Don't let Perry fool. We gotta put boots on the ground. Listen, Perry gonna get a cart, right? So we walk in, and a golf cart drove by, one of them worker golf carts, like to where there's no back seats. It's just like a bed, like a truck bed, right? So he's like, hey man, let me get a ride. He like, hey, yo, I'm about to go up. You know, we ain't got time. Perry's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm trying to get a ride. Let's get a, hey. He be like, and Perry is literally the dude telling him, no, Perry, you can't get on. Perry is unlatching the back. He like, man, shit, y'all better get up on this thing. So,
hey, you better get it how you live, because that Southern campus is pretty spread out.
Oh my God.
The walking will wear you out. So even when I came by you, I caught a ride. And when you catch the cart, hey, where you headed? We going on, hey, just get me close as you can. All right. Hey, that's what it's all about.
That joke is funny. So Perry jumped on, then Key jumped on, and then I jumped on, and the dude was like, hey man, I'm gonna be going really fast. Y'all better hold on. We ain't got no insurance. You just kept saying that. We ain't got no insurance. We ain't got no insurance. That joke was hilarious.
That's the fun part of it, man. Just
fun.
the randomness. That's the type of shit that I like, man. You know, that's what makes it an experience, man. You know, just the randomness, the funny, that's the memories.
Yeah.
That's the laughable parts. That's the fun parts. That's what I live for when I get out there and I go to games. And it ain't got to be homecoming, just period, man. Just, you know, being in the element, being yourself, and not trying to be bougie and act more. At no point, I was just genuinely me the whole time. You guys were yourselves. And man, and in Maxwell, and then you see my partners. I kick it with Chicago and New York, Bronx, New York, them my boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how we get down, man. And it's just the fun of the environment. And that's what it's all about. So anybody out there, especially in the celebrities, man, hit Perry White up, man. If you want the experience, come on down. You can hang out with me. And I'm going to give you the real. There ain't going to be none of that fake. I'm going to take you into the trenches of it. All right?
Deep in the trenches. I'm talking about, like, you be like, man, how we gonna get up out of here? Deep in the trenches, okay? You gonna be seeing some stuff, okay?
And it ain't nothing but love. Nothing but love.
It is all fun. All right, let's get into it. UAPB loses a close one to Graham. Now, the stats in this game were just a little weird. You know, I had to go back and watch it, and it's still a weird game for me. It just was a weird game of how some of the stuff came about. But Grambling pulled it out. What you got, P?
Yeah, this was one of those ones, considering UAPB had just beat Prairie View in a big audience the week before. 140,000 plus people tuned in on ESPN2 to watch UAPB beat Prairie View. And that was a big audience for UAPB to have watching them. And so it had a lot of people on. This could possibly what we'll consider upset alert in this situation for Grambling at their homecoming. But Grambling didn't quite let it go there. It was 10-7 at halftime, 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. Both teams traded scores back and forward in the second half, as Grambling scored 14 points in the third quarter, UAPB 7, and both teams ended the game 7 points apiece in the fourth quarter. But ultimately, Grambling gets the victory 31-21. Grambling 310 yards of offense in this one, 175 in the air, 135 on the ground. On the other side for the Golden Lions, who actually, when you look at the first downs, 24 first downs in this one to Grambling's 13 first downs. But UAPB outgained Grambling in this one offensively, 332 yards of offense, 230 yards passing, 102 on the ground, 2 turnovers by way of an interception and a fumble for UAPB in this one anyway. But then you look at Mekhi Hagan, who I think right now a lot of people, including yourself and myself after Prairie View, was pretty high on. He went 27 of 41 attempts in this one for 230 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Zamari and Weber, 15 carries for 93 yards. He was hauling that thing. But you know who was quiet? Who didn't find a way to the end zone? And I think that's what they needed. Javonte Gibson. He had 6 receptions for 84 yards, but he needed to get into that end zone. That's the type of playmaker when it's time to get into the end zone. You can get all the yards you want, but that playmaker got to find a way to get into the end zone when it matters most. I don't care if you got 84 yards, but if you put 2 touchdowns to that, that's a whole different day we're talking about. On the other side, Miles Crowley, 15-25, 170 yards, and a touchdown. You had Hargrove with 10 carries for 75 yards and a touchdown. And then Marquise Harris, 1 reception for 71 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, the tight end. It was hit him right up the seam. Took off. And they need to get him the ball more, though. He's a talent. He is a special talent. He got a running back number, but he got his number 28 and he's a tight end. That's different. But yeah.
Grambling closed this thing out and found a way to get it, man. And as they closed it out, happy homecoming to you, Grammy, as you was able to win this one, man.
Oh man, listen, that offensive line, they got to do something with that because Makai, he be running for it. He be running, boy be running for his life. I be feeling so bad for him. I ain't gonna lie to you. Man, listen, a good one down at Powell State. FAMU comes out on the short end of the stick. FAMU 21, Jackson State 35. What you got, P?
I thought FAMU played well early on. It's the fourth quarter is this ball game. To me, it's the fourth quarter. Both teams traded back and forth in the first quarter, 14-14. Both teams traded back and forth in the second quarter. It was 7 points by FAMU, 6 points by Jackson State. Nobody scored in the third quarter, but it was all Jackson State in the fourth quarter. 15 points off of turnovers for Jackson State. And look, this is when you're talking about you ready for your team to become clutch, where you separate the men from the boys. Jackson State seemed like they just wanted it more, and their defense woke up and caused havoc. They didn't give up any points in the second half to FAMU. In this ball game, Jackson State 3 of 11 on third downs, 400 yards of total offense, 155 in the air, 245 on the ground, and I like Jackson State's running game, and I'm going to talk about that bad boy, Irv Mulligan. He ran a guy over, dipped on down, but I keep going. For Florida A&M on the other side, they went 5 of 13 on third downs, 311 yards of total offense, 248 in the air. Oh, man, if they could ever find out how to just simply run the ball and be a balanced offense. 63 yards rushing in this one. Turnovers galore. 4 turnovers for the Tigers in this one. 3 by way of fumble, 1 by interception. And then on the other side for Florida A&M, 2 fumbles and an interception. Man, this was a tough one. When you look at what Daniel Richardson at the end, man, literally fell out of his hands. 19 of 28 in this ball game for 248 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Thad Franklin Jr., 15 carries for 63 yards, and Ace Cobb. Hey, Cobb, nice. That kid is nice. 3 receptions, 92 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and then Gassett. Man, them 2 dudes, man, I would love to have them on my team any day. 4 receptions for 64 yards and a touchdown. But on the other side, Jacoby and Morgan just did enough. 15 of 25 for 155 yards. No touchdown passes in this one. But he also threw an interception. But along with that, add 13 carries for 56 yards rushing. Irv Mulligan, welcome back. Last year, I was high on him until he got hurt. I really did. And I don't care if it's Jackson State or not. I like the way Irv Mulligan runs the ball. He is powerful. He is fast, and when you give him just a slither of room, he'll get out of there on you. 18 carries, 139 yards rushing, and a touchdown. And then Taquan Henderson, 3 receptions for 71 yards. Fortillion was a little quiet in this one, 3 receptions for 28 yards, but this was Irv Mulligan and Jackson State just running the ball down Florida A&M's throat. And Florida A&M, I think, showed in previous games against South Carolina State, and we saw it in the first game against Norfolk. When it comes to stopping the run, it's a tough day. Jackson State exploited that, but then at the end, Jackson State's defense is what really stepped up. And you talked about this defense. I saw them firsthand against Southern. When it mattered most, their defense stepped up and they forced the turnovers. And that's where you win the games when it's on the line. Your defense forcing turnovers, and that's what happened in this one. 15 points in the fourth quarter. Jackson State get the victory and upsets Florida A&M. And are now in first place in the SWAC East.
FAMU was still the better team. Very much simply as that. That's all I got to say on that. Next up, Alcorn Southern.
Are y'all ready? I just wanted to let them look at the score for a while. It don't happen too often for Southern beating Alcorn, so I just wanted you to see it. 24-14 in this one. Southern University, Alcorn State, homecoming in Baton Rouge. The Jaguars, 436 yards of total offense, 141 yards passing. Scotty, they opened it up on the ground, something they have struggled to do all year because of that offensive line. 295 yards rushing for the Jaguars in this one as they ran all over Alcorn. And on the other side, Alcorn struggled on third downs, man. Vaughn running for his life in this one. Didn't want to let the ball go. 3 of 11 on third downs, 290 yards of total offense, only 76 passing yards in this one for Alcorn. 214 on the ground, 3 turnovers in this one, 2 by way of fumble and an interception for Alcorn. Xavier Vaughn, 10 of 21 for 76 yards and an interception. Tavares Griffin, 1 carry for 64 yards, a big one. Hey, he broke straight through the hole. It was nothing they could do. Everybody was right there, and it was nothing but him and grass in front of him with turf. 64 yards for a touchdown. Xavier Vaughn also added 15 carries for 55 yards and a touchdown. And then Griffin as well on the receiving end, 5 receptions for 43 yards. Noah Biden with a modest day, 13 of 22 for 141 yards and a touchdown. How about Kendrick Grimes? Congratulations. Finally getting over the century mark this year in the rushing yards. 17 carries for 133 yards rushing and a touchdown. A touchdown at the end of the game in the fourth quarter to seal the deal off of an Alcorn State turnover. And then Kobe Dillon along to go along with him with 15 carries for 91 yards. Even Noah Biden got in on this one. 4 carries for 38 yards and for a touchdown. And it was Southern. Southern found a way to close out in the fourth quarter. 10 points in the fourth quarter after this game was 14-14 going into halftime. Southern's defense, Kelby Givens, showed signs of why they picked him as the SWAC Defensive Player of the Year in preseason. He was all over the place, causing problems for Alcorn, and it ultimately worked out for Southern at the end as the Jaguars turned those turnovers into points and won this game.
If I'm an Alcorn fan, how do we get beat by 1 play? Like literally, you got beat by a halfback dive. I can't. That game footage has to be broken down. Like that's not something you just throw away.
And between 2 players, they ran it 32 times.
They literally ran halfback dive left and halfback dive right, and Alcorn couldn't stop it. It's just plain and simple. They could not stop it. So and again, I'm gonna say this again. You can't be Cedric Thomas is he was the defensive coordinator before he became the head coach. How do you not stop halfback dive left and halfback dive right as a former defensive coordinator? That won't make any sense to me. That you can't explain it to me. You can't make that make sense to me. He has to step on the carpet for that one. It's just very simple, plain and simple for me. All right, Howard, Tennessee State.
Homecoming in D.C. for Howard as they took on Tennessee State. The Tigers traveled over. I know it was talk about the band not being able to make it over, but Tennessee State didn't need the band. They brought some football team ready to play some football, and that's exactly what they did in this one as they won 27-14. This game was 13-7 at halftime. Tennessee State was up, and they didn't look back after halftime, scoring 14 points in the third quarter and closing this thing out. Tennessee State in this one, 16 first downs, 3 of 13 on third down conversions, 1 of 3 on fourth down, 412 yards of offense for the Tigers in Tennessee State, 289 yards in the air, 123 on the ground. On the other side for the Bison, struggled on third downs, 2 of 12 on third downs in this ball game, 1 of 3 on fourth downs conversions, 209 yards of offense. Scotty, only 33 passing yards. 176 rushing yards, 2 turnovers in this game by way of interception for the Bison of Howard. Drayton Ellis, 19 of 30 for 289 yards passing. He also had 8 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. Jay McGill, 14 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown. But this man, what's his name? Brenton, how you say his first name?
Brenton. I don't know his first name.
Brenton. 5 receptions for 153 yards. Just going off on the Howard defense. On the other side, Jay-Sean Scroggins, who that's all the offense Howard has, basically. 6 of 21 for 33 yards, my guy. That's 2 interceptions. He also had 14 carries for 53 yards. Jared Hunter was the only thing they had in this one. 15 carries for 102 yards and a touchdown. And then Eden James, 5 carries, 20 yards and a touchdown. That wide receiver core, quiet from Howard when you only got 33 yards passing in this ball game by Jay-Sean Scroggins. Tennessee State won this ball game, and they are rolling right now.
Howard, Jesus Christ. I don't know what you do with Howard right now, but they are getting dog walked in the MEAC. Absolutely dog walked. All right, let's get into these predictions real quick. All right, let's get it going. Grambling versus Texas Southern. Who you got, P?
I like this matchup. This is one I think we looked at early. Now, you know what's interesting about this, Scotty?
What's up?
Week 1 and week 2, we looked at these two teams and thought this would probably be the SWAC West, didn't we?
I definitely did. I definitely thought from Grambling's perspective.
And then Texas Southern turned heads beating Prairie View. But now looking at them, somebody needs to win. Somebody got to get a win in order to try to keep themselves alive in this one. I think I'm going Grambling in this one. If I'm not mistaken, I chose.
Yeah, I think you picked Grambling as well.
I'm going to go Grambling over Texas Southern in this one. I think Grambling at any given day can turn it on. And if Mickey Joseph is saying he's going to take the call away from Eric Dooley, I like their chances because when I saw Texas Southern, nothing impressive about them, especially offensively. Now, they'll try to play you tough defensively, but offensively, if you can get ahead and move the ball on them, you'll have a day.
It's a wrap. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Grambling on this one as well. I agree with you. The Dooley getting his play call, Dooley getting the play call of duties taken away from him absolutely is ecstatic to me. I did see a lot more passing plays where the receivers were actually running back towards Miles Crawley, not doing these long outbreaking routes and things like that. So I was excited to see that. Thank God of the change of play calling. All right, going down UAPB and Valley. What you got?
Homecoming in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. My mom's alma mater, and I know a lot of people in Golden Line country are going to be headed down to Pine Bluff having a good time. I want to shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all be safe over there in Pine Bluff this weekend, taking on Mississippi Valley, two teams who know each other well. And I guess if UAPB had to have a rival because they're one of the few schools where nobody really considers themselves UAPB's rival, Valley would be the rival. Not too far. Think about a 2-hour drive down Highway 65, across the river into Greenville, then you right there in Itabena, Mississippi. So it won't be too far of a drive for the Valley people to go up to Pine Bluff. I like Mekhi Hagans. I like what he's doing. Valley lost to Bethune-Cookman last week. I think UAPB's offense is enough to get past them. I'm going UAPB with the victory at homecoming. Remember, Valley beat UAPB last year at Valley's homecoming. So UAPB got to repay them. I think the Golden Lions get it done.
Yeah, I think this has I don't want to say blowout, but I think this has like 35-14, 35-21 written all over UAPB. Very simply game. Mekhi Hagans is just too good. And Valley just is not good enough. All right, let's go. Texas A&M Commerce Prairie View. For me, I think this is real simple. I think coming off a bye week, Prairie View can't lose this game. You can't do it. I know the game doesn't matter per se, but you got to find a way to get a win, and you got to find a way to get your team back right, especially after using the UAPB. So I'm going with Prairie View on this one. What you got, P?
It's homecoming season, so there's another homecoming to celebrate. Prairie View scheduled Texas A&M Commerce. I don't like Prairie View, so I'm not picking Prairie View. And the fact I watched y'all lose to UAPB, Texas A&M Commerce in this one, I got them.
All right. A&T and Campbell, very simple for me. They're playing a white school. They're not going to win. I got Campbell.
Going Campbell Cigarettes. We're going to Campbell all the way.
All right. Bethune versus Jackson State. Bethune came off a win last week against the bottom of the bottoms. No Diddy. Jackson State came off a big win with FAMU. Listen, very simply, until Bethune showed me that they can stop somebody defensively. Stop somebody with their defense. I'm going with Jackson State until they can prove otherwise. I got Jackson State.
I think this Jackson State big. This one get ugly. I'm going Jackson State.
All right. Elon versus Hampton. What you got, P?
I'm a fan of Hampton. I really am. I like the Hampton Pirates. I like Malcolm Mays. I like Christopher Zealous. I like Elijah Burris. All three of those guys at any given time can be the guy on NCAA with the star around him as the impact player. But the thing about him, Hampton suffers from turnovers. They played some close games this year. I'm going to go with Elon in this one. I think Elon gets it done. Elon is not too hot of a team themselves. I believe Elon only 2 wins on the season. I know Hampton right now coming off that big win off of A&T, but I'm going to go with Elon. I think Elon gets it done.
Yeah, listen, I think Hampton is finding itself, but it's just not good enough as a program yet. I still think they have a quarterback issue, even though they go back and forth with Malcolm Mays and Christopher Zealous. You got to have a guy. Mr. Campbell says BCU's homecoming, so hopefully that gives them some energy to make us. I'm rooting for you, Bethune. I am rooting for you.
No, you not. Stop lying at me, folks.
I am. I'm not picking them, but I'm rooting for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anybody against Powell State, I'm rooting.
I wouldn't be surprised if we look back and I'm picking Elon, but this is one of those games where I think Seesaw, if I look up and it says Hampton won this game, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I wouldn't be either, because I think Hampton has the talent to pull it out. I mean, they got some special guys, but just don't think it's enough.
And they took the interim tag off their head coach.
Oh, congratulations to him.
Yeah, so he's no longer the interim coach. He's now, I think, won the job as the head coach at Hampton.
Maybe after that ass whoop he gave the NCAT, they was like, hey, if you can do that, if you can beat your rival by 40 on their homecoming, I'll take that. Shoot. You can be the head coach here, right? So you actually win conference games. Anyway, that's 2 years running. You know that, right? That they beat. Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, Morgan State, NCCU. Listen, Morgan, y'all, listen, man. Y'all like the dude who just can't get right with their money. Like, even when they get a new job, even when they get a pay raise, it's like, how are you still broke? Like you ain't never got no money. Like, they don't ever got no offense. Like, it's just like, it don't matter what you do. New coaching staff, new players. It doesn't matter. Morgan State can't find an offense. I'm going NCCU by a lot. Okay, it might be like 14-35 or something like that. But goddamn, like, Morgan State cannot find an offense to save their life. What you got, P?
Keep this short and sweet. No offense for Morgan State. NCCU has shown us offense by blowing out opponents. I'm going NCCU in this one. I think Trey Oliver has his team up ready to go, and they're going to show, they're going to flex their muscle. This is an opportunity to be up above everybody else after this weekend to be 2-0 in conference play.
Absolutely.
It must be close to Halloween. We getting talking MEAC conference games. Damn, it must costume parties are right around the corner.
Right around. You know what I'm saying? You can smell the turkey in the air. Thanksgiving coming too. Howard versus of the Norfolk State Spartans. What you got, P?
Howard, what I've seen out of them, and I mean, it ain't much difference with Norfolk State. But I'm going to take Norfolk State in this one. This is one of the ones I've been waiting on one to get back on track. I think this one, Norfolk State is long overdue for a victory right now. And I think this is an opportunity for Norfolk to get it. I'm going Norfolk and Coach Dawson Odoms over Howard in this one.
Listen, I gotta get back right. And I gotta go Howard. It's just very simple. Howard, show me something. I mean, you guys have been getting dog walked all season. Do the dog walking for me, please. I'm sorry. Thank you. Do the dog walking for me. I need you guys to come out with a victory on this one. Do we really need to talk about this? South Carolina State for both of us. Let's move on. Yeah. Magic City Classic, or better yet, the Fired Coaches Bowl. All right? Because both of these niggas is not coming back. Okay? Maynard not coming back, and Eddie Robb is on his last year contract. They not renewing that. So the Fired Coaches Bowl, who do you got?
I like this matchup because right now, looking at Alabama A&M, it seems like Connell Maynard is doing everything to hold on to that Huntsville home that he has. And then on the other side, Alabama State still surviving. They're not trash. They're still a formidable opponent, even after that debacle that fell apart for them in the first game of the season. That was a long time ago now that we look back at the Orange Blossom Classic versus North Carolina Central. This is a rivalry. Expect a big crowd in Birmingham, Alabama at Legion's Field. Both these teams know each other well. The entire state of Alabama be ascended. All the black folks, let me put it like that then. Not the entire state, but all the black folks in Alabama are going to be right there as they like to pride themselves at the tailgate. Connell Maynard, Alabama A&M, Eddie Robinson Jr. at Alabama State. Alabama State, no offense. Zero. They found a little bit against Valley, which I was surprised, but no offense. I still like Bama State.
And A&M ain't got no defense.
And I like Bama State's chances just because of their defense to put the pressure on A&M And A&M has shown if you can get them rattled from the quarterback position, as they've been playing Langford and two others, if you can get them rattled, it'll be a good day. The name of this game, Scotty, is going to be the turnover battle. If Alabama State can win the turnover battle and get themselves short field position with an offense that has struggled since losing their quarterbacks, I think they'll win it. And this may be one of those ugly games. It may go back and forth by field goals, but nonetheless, I'm going Alabama State over Alabama A&M in this one.
Wow. I thought you were I don't know if I saw your picks on that one. I don't know, because I thought we were going against each other. Let me see.
You ain't never heard me pick Alabama.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going. I'm going. I'm
But
going. You know what? I need to.
I don't like Alabama A&M, and it ain't nothing they ever did. I just don't like them, so I'm not gonna pick them. I'm going to Hornets in this one. Prove me wrong, Cornell, man, and Alabama A&M next Monday when I get on here. Prove me wrong, but until then, Bama State.
I'm trying to think. Do I need to take the risk of going? If I go the two that I got that are against you, I would tie. If I do this one against you and I lose, then I'm still down. You know what? I'll take Bama State with you because I'm going against you in the game of the week. So I'll take that one. So I'll take Bama State on this one. Almost got me. Almost got me.
You know damn well you wasn't finna go with Cornell, man, and the Bulldogs in this one. I don't even know why you had that anticipation and that weight right there. Not so fast.
I was breaking it down.
What was you trying to figure out in your head? Does Cornell, man, to dial it up and get it right?
No, I think Xavier Langford goes for over. I think listen. Can they stop a nosebleed? No, but I do think Xavier Langford is getting more and more comfortable in the position. And I've been saying it for the past 3 weeks that they should let Xavier Langford just ride it out. Like he's been that constant side chick that you've kept on the side while you've been trying to date all these other girls, and he's just been waiting his turn, and it's his turn. Let him go out. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. So,
go Hornets.
That's just me. All right. You know what time it is. Get out your Trojans, because you know what time it is.
In this house, there's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
Hey! Week 3 of HBCU jump-offs. It's been a little dibble-dabble. It's been some changes that's going on. Oh, wrong one. Here we go.
In this house, there's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
Hey! Little shake up. Them Aggies just keep going up. They just keep rising as one of the top premier jump-offs in HBCU land. I'm telling you, it's wild out here. It's wild out here. And if I'm being honest, they probably should have been number one, if I'm being honest.
How about Valley with back-to-back weak-ass games? Playing Bethune-Cookman last week in a winless game, and then this week playing UAPB, a 2-win team. I know you got them with 1 win, but they beat Arkansas Baptist. Who cares?
I'm not giving that.
Right. But Valley back-to-back playing teams on this list. Bethune-Cookman, and then they let Bethune-Cookman beat them. That added this list. It went from 2 wins 2 weeks ago to 3 wins last week. Now we have 4. D1 is I guess. Well, hell, even the Aggies ain't even beat a D1 team this year.
Nope.
In this house, there's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this.
Hey, getting that work.
All I can tell them, Scotty, make that money. Don't let it make you.
Don't let it make you. Because back in the day, girls out there shaking, bucket naked. Oh man,
these are some pretty bad programs right here. UAPB, Bethune-Cookman, Delaware State, NCAT, and Valley to be. You don't want to be on this list, and this list has been pretty consistent.
Hey, Barry.
Huh?
Hey, Luke here. Luke who? Me so horny.
I was gonna hit that button. Yeah.
Money. Yeah.
That's one of them. Anytime they step foot in your stadium, you like, oh, wee. Good day.
If PV lose, they going on this list. If PV loses Texas A&M Commerce, they are going on this list because UAPB is going to beat Valley.
What happens if UAPB lose the Valley? Then it's just that thing.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
This 5, because this 5 ain't. Hey, everybody trying to stay off this list. This is the first time ever I've seen in Black College sports you got the bottom of the barrel list. This is the bottom of the barrel, the jump off list, boy. And you want to be in the top. This is the top 5 you don't want to be in.
Hey, this is the Jay. Give me 5 you ain't never gonna see.
Oh, the first. Let me give you the 5 worst teams in HBCU football. Yeah, you don't want to be on UAPB. Do what you can to get off this list, man. I'm trying to root for you. I'm trying to cheer you out this list because this list right here, this all homecoming opponents. So anybody out there with any scheduling conflicts next year, and you're looking for homecoming, any ADs watching this, here you go. We got a homecoming list. You can pick whoever you want. Decide on which team you want. This is your homecoming list. Grambling already played UAPB. Valley already played Bethune-Cookman for their homecoming. The Aggies lost their own homecoming.
God,
I ain't never in my life heard anybody talk about Delaware State homecoming. So
they lost to Robert Morris on their homecoming.
You get the hell out of here. Yeah, this list right here, boy, this top 5. Y'all share this list too. Yeah. Hopefully these coaches embarrassed enough to say, you know, let's get the fuck off this list. Because this right here ain't where you want to be.
Let me see. Let me see. I remember this jank was. You remember this jank? Hold on.
Getting. I was getting some head. Getting some head. I was.
Well, I tell you.
Some head. Getting some head. I was getting some head. Getting some head.
Oh, I'm done. I ain't go through it. I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus.
Does Jackson play UAPB for homecoming? Jackson State people, are y'all playing UAPB for homecoming?
Yes, November 2nd.
That's 2 homecomings UAPB been scheduled down for, Grambling and Jackson. Oh, shit.
Oh, man. That's funny.
Oh.
You remember this, Jake? Let me see. Dang, this used to be my Jake right here. This used to be my Jake. I know you remember this, Jake. I hope it play. Hold on. Oh, this one. Okay, so it should play next.
Can you buy that? Yo, Dipset. Lil Weezy, Cash Money. Yo, Ma, let me holler. Let's do it. Ma, I've been hugging the block. That's right. Hustling, rocks. I know, I've been puffing a lot. But the niggas wanna know, baby girl, you gon' suck it or not. My dick hard.
Okay.
You seen Harlem Nights, right?
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy asked her, he said, you in charge of the girls, right? Yeah. Are you in charge of the girls? She said, yeah, these are the girls she in charge of. All of them, trash. Whatever you want them to do at any given time. You know, on Hustle and Flow, Hustle and Flow, when DJ wanted that mic.
You're in charge. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when DJ wanted that mic, and he was like, hey, I really need that mic, man.
I'm gonna need that.
You need that mic. You send any one of them, they'll go get you that mic. That's just where they at. They nasty. They at the bottom. Boy, I hate it for them too. Better y'all than me. Shit, I'm glad, boy, because I know a few people who wanted Southern on this list. I'll be damn.
I'm in charge. You're in charge.
There you go.
I'm in charge.
Got to believe that.
Yeah.
They don't believe they in charge. None of these teams. UAPB trying. They trying to get up out of there. But everybody else, A&T gonna forever live here moving forward. Valley gonna live here.
Yeah.
And Delaware State gonna live here. Bethune-Cookman living all these teams. UAPB the only one I give an opportunity. I hope UAPB beat Valley and Prairie View lose to Commerce so we can add their ass to this list too. Because one thing I will give UAPB, at least they beat Prairie View.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Boy, PV, y'all trash, boy. I'm talking about y'all is trash, boy. What the boy, Bubba what? Bubba who? Bubba?
And he trash.
That's PV, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Let me see.
Yo, this for my nigga, DJ 618. Oh, Club Casino, Rio, East Side, nigga.
Cause it ain't your face, I need a tip drill. I need a tip drill. I said it must be ass, cause it ain't your face, I need a tip drill. I need a tip drill. See if you see a tip drill, point out. Where she at? Point out. Where she at? Point out. There she goes. See if you see a tip drill, point out. Where she at? Point out. Where she at? Point out. There she goes.
Oh my God. Oh man. Oh,
all the ADs at this school need to take a hard look at your coaches at the end of the year. Every AD in here needs to take a hard look at your coach at the end of the year.
Oh, man.
And sit him down and be like, what the fuck was we doing in 2024?
Oh man, and that's some BET Uncut days, boy. That BET Uncut was those are some great years, man.
Mm-hmm. Just take the logo of these schools and put them on every girl face on them videos, and then just let it run.
Facts. That was, oh man, that was funny. I needed that laugh. All right, let's get into the HBCU top 5. You already know what's coming. Perry, break it down.
Oh man, my HBCU top 5 as we are rolling. You remember we said this early on. After you get past week 4 and 5, things will start to shape up. And for me, it's starting to shape up. And let me tell you, at number 5, welcome to the list. And I didn't think I was going to say that this year, but right now I'm saying it. The Southern University Jaguars sitting there at 4-3, 3-0 in conference, playing at the top of the SWAC West. They just defeated Alcorn State at homecoming, 24-14. The Jaguars beat Texas Southern and Alcorn in overtime. And right now, they're headed in the right direction, and that's headed right into my top 5 as the Jaguars are now at the top of the SWAC West. Congratulations to them. Right above them, I'm going Jackson State at 5-2. And actually, Scotty, I had Jackson State at the number 3 spot. I had South Carolina State at the number 4 spot, but it's okay. But I put Jack so y'all understand where I'm at. South Carolina State is actually my number 4 team right now.
My bad. My bad. My bad. That's on me.
They beat Fort Valley, so y'all don't beat me up too bad when y'all see this. South Carolina State is really the 4th team. They beat Fort Valley this weekend and had an opportunity to go up big. And so right now at 4-2, I think Coach Chennisberry and the Bulldogs headed in the right direction. On the other side, Jackson State is actually my number 3 team. The Tigers doing what they did by beating Florida A&M and getting Florida A&M off my top 5. Florida A&M was already shaky, and that showed me enough with all I need to see last week in Jackson, Mississippi. The Tigers improved to 5-2, 3-0, and they are now at the top of the SWAC. So Jackson State is actually my number 3. South Carolina State is my number 4. How about Tennessee State? Eddie George and the Tigers moved up to the number 2 spot for me, going on the road and defeating Howard at their homecoming. Right now, they are 6-2, 3-1 in Ohio Valley Conference. They're right there at the top of the things. And so they're battling right now for an Ohio Valley Conference title. I like the direction that they're going in. They are playing football, and they're playing some damn good football right now with Drayton Ellis and the rest of the gang. And at 6-2, right now, they have the most wins than any other HBCU. And then still at the top of the list, I still don't think nobody right now, although Tennessee State is playing some pretty good football, I don't think anybody is outplaying North Carolina Central as the Eagles right now continue to do what they do, and that's stump everybody that seems to come on their schedule. And they're 5-2, 1-0, and I believe after this weekend they'll be 2-0 and 6-2 overall. And so, as we do my top five, Southern University at number 5, South Carolina State at the number 3 spot, at the number 4 spot, Jackson State at the number 3 spot, Tennessee State number 2, North Carolina Central still flying above everybody at number 1.
All right. Yeah, mine doesn't look like that. Listen, FAMU is still in my top 5 because it's the simple fact of the matter is, I mean, you lost to a top 5 opponent. I'm not going to drop you out of it. And I don't think Southern's better than FAMU. That's just where I'm at with that. Jackson State, I can't put them in front of any of these teams in the top 3 because the schedule is weak. They haven't played nowhere near the competition that these other teams have played and have beaten. And I think in my mind, if you gave Jackson State any of these team schedules, they lose, right? If you gave Jackson State Tennessee Tech, they probably lose. If you give Jackson State probably Citadel, they probably lose. I think Jackson State's weak schedule is the biggest hindrance for me outside of playing FAMU. The schedule is weak. You can say what you want. Your schedule is weak. It's hella weak. So tell Ashley Robinson to stop giving y'all some fluff cakes and actually do a real schedule, right? Tennessee State, they're playing great. I can't put them over South Carolina State because they have a mutual opponent and they lost to the mutual opponent that South Carolina State beat. So very simply, I'm not saying Tennessee State's not a great team, but you got to give South Carolina State that we played a mutual opponent. We beat that mutual opponent. You lost to that mutual opponent. Got to put them over top of that. And then NCCU is just literally head and shoulders above everybody. They kind of remind me of what FAMU was last year, where it's just them and everybody else. At the end of the day, that just is what it is. So to me, listen, all you Pajot State fans, listen, nobody cares that you got a soft-ass schedule, bro. Like, y'all got to get out of this, man. Y'all do not play nobody. Stop acting like you do. You don't play anybody. You rarely play white schools. For the last 2 years, you don't play nobody. You play ULM, and then what, you play Campbell. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all killing me with this weak-ass schedule. So, y'all don't play no Power 5 teams for money games. When was the last time y'all done did that? Y'all schedule SWAC conference games for out-of-conference games. That shit's whack, right? Like, stop it. Your schedule is weak. You know it's weak. Stop playing with it. So, if you guys want to be up there with the big boys, schedule some real-ass games. Facts. And you lost. And what are you in your point? You lost. And ULM is number 1 and you lost. So what are we talking about? Exactly. Moving on. So, yeah, get up out of here. All right, game of the week. Very simply for me, game of the week. Not the Magic City Classic. Don't nobody want to. Hey, how can the Fire Coaches Bowl be the game of the week? It can't, right? Southern, FAMU, bounce back game for FAMU. Southern undefeated. Listen, coming off of like Rocky said, monkey foot, rabbit's foot, 4-leaf clovers, 3-leaf clovers. They got it all in their back pocket. They've been living on hopes and dreams. FAMU doesn't lose that brag. Still have one of the longest winning streaks at home stadiums. Should be a good one. What you got, P?
I like this matchup. 3 weeks ago, I probably didn't like this matchup. But now looking at what this matchup is leading into, I saw the success that Jackson State was able to have on the ground against this FAMU run defense. I saw the same thing with South Carolina State. I saw the same thing with Norfolk State. Taking advantage of Florida A&M's weak run defense. And you ain't got to be special. Just keep chipping away at them. Just keep chipping away. FAMU's defense is still good. Nonetheless, and I'm talking about that secondary, the interceptions they was getting on Jacoby Morgan. I mean, just when I look at this, all I can hope is that Southern's offensive line shows up ready to play against that front of Florida A&M. Southern and Noah Biden or T-Set, it don't matter which one of the quarterbacks. Be careful of this FAMU secondary. Don't let it get it twisted because they give up the run. Don't get it twisted about this FAMU secondary. They are legit, and if you throw the ball in the wrong spot, they will turn you over. Daniel Richardson and his offense is still explosive. Gassett is a man, a baller, impact player. This game is gonna go back and forth. It's just hard to win at Bragg. The last time I went there, it's different. And then when they say we brag different, it really is. That is a tough place to play. And I go back and I think about that 18-7 lead South Carolina State had on this team. And fam, you found a way in the fourth quarter to put it all together and to win that game and get out of there with one. Coach Terrence Graves is going to have to coach his team up. Southern has been on the road a lot this year. At McNeese, at Jackson State, at Prairie View, at Texas Southern. Finding a way to get it done in overtime against Prairie View and against Texas Southern in two tough places to have to go. I think that helps them when they have to go to Bragg. I don't know how much it'll be to get them over the hump, but I think Southern does what they've been doing, what they did in this last game and what they did against Texas Southern. Run the ball. Take your chance, run the ball, chip away. Hopefully one breaks. Try to win off special teams. And Southern's defense, as big as they've been stepping up, is going to have to step up big, especially that secondary, because Daniel Richardson and Gassett and company are going to try to get you over top. Now, I'm not worried about FAMU's run game. It's going to be trying to get the pressure on Daniel Richardson and make it a tough day back in the pocket for him, keeping him running and keeping him off balance. But nonetheless, this is tough with Southern going into hostile territory. These are two teams that know each other very well, had the longest non-conference rivalry in Black college football, played each other for over 40 years until it ended in 2001. From the 40s all the way into 2001, these are two storied programs talking about championship history. You're talking about talent, the toast of HBCU football, a hell of a matchup. Two first-year head coaches, James Colsey and in Terrence Graves. I'm going to go Jaguars in this one. I'm going to take Southern on the road. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's like the teacher when they get up in front of class talking and you back there mocking me, send your ass to detention. Don't do that. I'm going Southern in this one. I think Southern ends the streak at Bragg. It's long overdue, and I think it happens this weekend.
Let me before I get into this game, let me speak to the Powell State fans. I want to remind you, Bammers, your pundits that you go to and listen to called ULM a Mississippi JUCO, and that they guaranteed a victory. And now all of a sudden that they're ranked number one, and I told you they were good. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, people was talking shit about us when we lost. I'm like, I always was talking shit about you because I knew you weren't going to win because they were better than you, period. But one of your pundits was calling them a Mississippi JUCO, and they guaranteed victory. But that's neither here nor there. Okay. This game is I would say this. I think Southern's defense has gotten better over the last 3 games. Like, they've continually gotten better. They're not what they were in the beginning. I think a lot of that is because they know who they are and they're becoming more comfortable in their scheme. But I think FAMU's the better team. They have the better quarterback. They have the better receivers. They have the better tight ends. But somebody said in the chat, this is a huge game for Colsey as a head coach. And what I mean by that is because how do you get your team to get back up for another big game? That's the thing. How do you get back up for this game? How do you keep your team on the edge and say, hey, we still got to fight? Because Willie Simmons did a really good job of that. When they would lose to OBC, they would stay locked in for the rest of the season and they wouldn't lose again. That's not an easy job, especially with a first-year guy. So how he bounces back after the blunders and the mistakes by him and his coaching staff in that game, how do you coach your kids to get back and play? It's going to be a very huge thing. I think if this game was at Southern, I think it would be a very more detrimental. It would have been more detrimental to FAM if this was an away game. I think it being home, I think they having the crowd behind them, the band behind them, the cheerleaders coming. I think the fans being there, I think you're going to get a better showing from FAMU. But if it was on the way, if this was at Southern, I would be very worried. I'm not worried about this game so much. I think Daniel Richardson has a great bounce back game. I think Joseph Henry gets his head out of his ass and really starts dialing it up. And listen, I think the FAMU defense, even though they can't run the ball, they don't stop the run very well. If I'm being honest, I like Kendrick Grimes. I really do. I think he's special. I like Kobe Denton. I think they're both special. I don't like the play calling. It worked against Alcorn, and if I'm FAMU, like that halfback dive can't work against you. I got FAMU by 10. I think they should pull this game out. I could see it being 27-17, 24-14, probably, because FAMU has a hard time going over 21. I don't know what it is about them. So 24-14 FAMU or 24-17, somewhere around there. But I think it's FAMU by 10. Perry, is the band traveling? Dang. Okay. All righty. That's what it is. All right. Any last things?
I'm just looking forward to that matchup. I mean, I thought Southern was going to possibly get 2 back-to-back big week. Well, it's still a big weekend, but knowing Alcorn was undefeated, then I was thinking I picked FAMU last week to beat Jackson State. So I'm like, damn, back-to-back weekends of undefeated teams facing each other in the SWAC. You don't get that often, especially this late in the season. But FAMU is still a formidable opponent. That one loss don't mean nothing. They still get out there and play hard, especially at Bragg. So this is a big game. This is a huge conference game. No doubt about it, why it's the game of the week. All eyes will be on Bragg Memorial Stadium this Saturday to watch Southern and FAMU, 2 marquee brands playing each other, and both teams head in a direction of trying to figure it out. This is a figure it out weekend. FAMU don't want to lose 2 in a row, and Southern wants to keep the streak going, because now when you get out of this, you got one more road game. Southern with back-to-back road games coming up at Tallahassee. What we celebrate? I guess we celebrating shit. If we win, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna release the balloons. RIP to the Rattlers. And then you go on the road to Huntsville, which we better listen. I'll get to that when we get there.
Yeah.
Out of Alabama A&M. But I mean, if you get past Florida A&M, you got Alabama A&M, Bethune-Cookman, and UAPB left before you get to the Bayou Classic.
Yeah.
I mean, Bethune-Cookman and UAPB on our set out list. That feels good to me to know that I got that coming down the line. Hey, I got some for sure coming.
I got solid. You know what I'm saying? Coming through. Hey, coming through. Okay.
I make that call. What you doing? What you doing, Bethune? What you doing, UAPB? And they at home. They home games at that. Pull up.
Oh man.
But these 2 road games, you got to go to Tallahassee. Them both long, far drives from Baton Rouge, right?
Yeah.
To take your team. So this is a tough game nonetheless. And I like this matchup. This is right. This is black college football to me. Southern and FAMU. This is the epitome of when I'm talking about programs and prestige. This is black college football. This is what you tune in to watch when you talk about, because all you're going to hear is the history of both programs the entire time, the Hall of Famers, the coaches, the championships, the rivalry, the band history. You're going to have so many storylines in this one, and this is what you tune in to watch. And I think this should give us everything we want for black college football between Southern and FAMU. I like it.
Absolutely. Love it, love it, love it. Let's go to N.O. Joe. N.O. Joe, you live.
What's going on, Pat? What's going on, OFFSCRIPT?
What's up, man?
All right, Scott, I don't think FAMU is a better team than Jackson State. FAMU can't stop what Jackson State does best.
But that's not how they won the game.
Jackson State.
That's not how they won the game, though.
Listen. I know. Listen. Jackson State, they kind of try to attack what FAMU does best, which is throwing the ball with a rush.
But that's not how they won the game.
And
so your point is irrelevant. Your point is irrelevant. They didn't run the game. They didn't win the game by running the ball. That's not.
Who, Jackson State?
Yes, they didn't win the game by running the ball.
How they won the game then, Scotty?
They won the game because they got a scoop and score. What the fuck game was you watching?
I was there.
How was the team up 21-20 the whole second half? In the last 3 minutes, win the game by attacking a team's weakness, which they could never attack because they never scored off running the ball. What are you talking about?
FAMU never scored. I don't think FAMU was a better team.
But your assessment of them not being a better team is irrelevant off the premise of what you're saying of why they're a better team. You said FAMU can't stop what Jackson does. But what Jackson did was not the reason that they won the game. That's why your point's irrelevant.
No. Jackson won the game from the pressure, right? From putting the pressure on FAMU. Correct?
That's not what you just said. That's not what you just said. That's not what you said. That is not what you said. When you came on the phone, no. That's not what you said. You said FAMU cannot stop what Jackson does. And I said, you said running. And I said, how? That was never a part of the game. That never affected the game.
And you never let me finish, Scott.
Go ahead, no, Joe.
FAMU couldn't stop Jackson State from running the ball. But Jackson State could kind of slow down FAMU throwing the ball by the pressure that they did. The first half, Jackson State did not get no pressure to FAMU. No pressure at all. They didn't touch them until that third and fourth quarter. That's when they started touching them, getting closer. As the game went on, they started getting closer and closer around Daniel Richardson. And that's what happened at the end of the game. When he rolled out, he rolled out because he got pressure. He rolled out, he got hit.
That's not even how the play went down. Like, what game are you watching? He stayed in the pocket.
So he didn't roll out.
He did not roll out.
He took our running.
Go watch. No, he did not. No, he did not. No, he did not. Go back and watch the actual game. He stayed in the pocket. He was looking to the left. He held the ball, and True hit him dead in the chest. That's what happened. What game are you watching?
You're right. I'm thinking about the time when he rolled out.
I know I'm right.
When they caught the flag. Yeah. But I don't think they're not a better team, though, Scotty.
And your premises of why they're not the better team does not make sense based off the way the game laid out. That's what I'm saying to you. The game, Jackson State didn't kill FAMU by running the ball. That's not what happened. The only reason Jackson State was in the game is because they were able to run the ball, but that didn't get them the lead. FAMU had the lead from the whole second half. If a team was dominant in running the ball, why wouldn't they have scored before? With running the ball. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
I think they played 5 times.
That's not the premise of this question. You came in off the premise of that FAMU can't stop what Jackson does. And that's an asinine statement because they led the whole second half into the last 3 minutes.
But they didn't stop them from moving the ball.
How did they not stop them when they didn't score? N.O. Joe, you're not making any sense.
So FAMU stopped that State from running the ball. That's what you're saying.
It did not affect the score. So it did not affect them winning the game. That's what you're not understanding. Get that through your head. That's why FAMU was the better team. If you're telling me that Jackson State's running attack was going to dominate the game, then the running attack would have dominated the second half as well. It was irrelevant. That's why the score was what it was. Are we not watching the same game?
No, I'm watching the game. And I didn't see it like that. I didn't see Jackson State ran the ball when they wanted to.
And they scored when they wanted to too. And they scored when they wanted to too, Joe. And they scored when they wanted to by running the ball. When
FAMU didn't score.
Did they? That's not how you came in the conversation. We're not talking about FAMU. You said FAMU can't stop what Jackson does. And they did not score a running touchdown until the second fumble in the last minute of the football game. What are you talking about?
All right, I guess I'm not.
Bye. Don't come. Listen, Do not come on here with these wild ass premises of, oh, FAMU couldn't stop with Jackson State. That's a lie. It's a lie because the running game did not affect them at all in the second half.
What's so funny was when I introduced you to the band director, Dr. Kendrick Taylor, he said, man, yeah, I didn't heard him yelling before. Boy, your ass is yelling.
Dog, that's a horrible premise. It is a horrible premise to say, hey, Jackson's running attack was dominant over FAMU when that wasn't the reason that they were even in the game. Like, it didn't affect nothing in the second half. Their running attack did nothing in the second half to affect the game. Period. Diallo from Ohio coming to you.
Hey, Scotty, take a deep breath, brother. We don't need Key rushing you to the emergency room tonight,
Jesus, man. Like, that shit's just stupid.
Right.
Like, that's like
But
you
I
telling me.
got to give you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's just like me telling you, oh, FAMU's passing attack was great, or they couldn't stop it. Just because they were moving the ball doesn't mean anything, because at the end of the day, you didn't score with it. You didn't score.
I totally agree. But I want to give you some pushback, but I want to come from a different angle.
Okay. Go ahead.
Brother was absolutely correct. Now, going into last week with Mike Reed, you predicted that JSU was going to win the game, right?
Yeah.
And JSU did win the game. My score was almost perfect. I picked 31-21. Now, tonight you were saying that even though JSU won the game, you still feel like FAMU was the better team, even though you picked them to lose. My question to you is, and then I'll have a rebuttal based on your comment, what did they do in a loss to make you think that they were a better team, even though you picked them to lose the game?
I'll tell you this: the thing that I saw was the running attack wasn't the end all be all for the game. I knew that FAMU couldn't stop the run, so that was going to be a problem. But if you watch the game from the second half on, the rushing attack of Jackson did not affect FAMU at all. Until the last minute of the game, when they got that garbage time touchdown with a rushing touchdown, the running attack was irrelevant. They were getting yards, but nothing was coming from it. I thought it was going to be dominant to where FAMU couldn't stop it, so they were scoring off of it. That wasn't the case. So in my mind, if I thought that was going to be the deciding factor, and it was not, then FAMU is the better team, because what I thought was going to be a hindrance to FAMU ended up not being the hindrance. They settled that in after the first half. I'm like, okay, cool. So both teams settled into the first half, and the only thing that made me mad, Diallo, about the game was the situation that I put Daniel in. He didn't close it. I said, if the game is close and Daniel has a chance to win it, he's going to win it. And for him to fumble and lose it, that is what made me upset. But not to me. FAMU was the better team because they had the more noticeable weaknesses, but their weaknesses did not affect the game to where they lost the game based off the weakness. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but this is where I disagree with you. And I feel like Jackson is the better team. And this is why. FAM's weakness, in my opinion, cost them the game. Everything that you said is absolutely correct. Had they been able to run the ball a little bit better, I think it would have helped Richardson in the passing game out. We talk about how Jackson's running attack didn't really change the outcome of the game, and it was the turnovers. The same can be said about FAMU and their early air raid attack, how they were scoring points in the first half, and they got shut out in the second half. So had their running game gave them some help, and they would have been able to play action and have an opportunity to throw the ball even as well, or if not better than they did in the first half. And Jackson State's opportunistic defense, this is what my dad used to always tell us in sports, all turnovers aren't created equal. Those two fumbles in the pick that Morgan had and the fumble that Dupree had led to no points. 2 of the 3 turnovers, as you guys know, because you watched the game, I'm assuming 2 of those 3 turnovers that FAMU had led to 14 points. So the fact that JSU shut down their running game throughout the whole game, it made them one-dimensional. And give Quinn credit, he shut their water off. They couldn't pass the ball in the second half, which was their strength. So I think Jackson State is better because they took away FAM's strength and didn't allow it to work against them and cause them to lose the game. I give FAM credit. They did a good job on Jackson State's run defense.
However, they still had over 200 yards rushing. You know what I'm saying?
But again, if you hand the ball off 50 times to a running back or to running backs, I would assume that you're a run first team. That is their thing. And my issue is FAMU for the whole season has not been a running team. That is not them. That's not their identity. They've been a passing attack. Now, what I will not argue with you on is I can't argue on them shutting the passing game down and them doing that because I feel the coordinator took that game out of Daniel Richardson's hands. That's
and let me pause you right there, Scotty, not to cut you off. You are absolutely correct. And that's why I say Jackson State is better, because the same thing can be said about TC. Jackson State fans are happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm pulling for Jackson State because my people from down there. But TC did the same thing. When they had the ball on the 2-yard line and Irv Mulligan ran the ball for 20 yards to the 20-yard line, they didn't go back to him for that whole series. So I felt like both OCs was making bad calls and not sticking to their strengths. So I agree with you 100%.
So for me, right, when the teams, okay, so if you give it to both teams, not leaning to their strength, okay, cool. But for me, the biggest weakness of the game was going to be FAMU's defense and their lack of running attack, right? I mean, the lack of run stopping ability on their defense.
Stopping the run.
But that wasn't what affected the game. It was the inability for them to block up the front on one play. And like you said, it happens. Like, that's football. Like, and we talked about turnovers aren't created. We literally had that whole, you called in with Mike. We had the whole conversation. I said turnovers. I said turnovers on the opposite side of the field is like a punt. Turnovers on your side of the field, that makes a difference. That's how turnovers are made differently, right? And that's exactly what happens to FAMU. But to me, watching that game and FAMU being as deficient as it had been all year in the run defense, for their run defense to not affect the game, to me, that made them the better team, because you knew my weakness. You knew we couldn't stop the run. And in the second half, your running attack did nothing to affect the game. It did nothing. So for me,
let me say this, Scotty. So again, I'm not disagreeing with you. Jackson State ran for over 200 yards, but that wasn't what won them the game. We all agree on that. I think Perry would agree on that also. So you're saying that Jackson State is not the better team because of that? Well, I'm also saying that that's true, but also FAMU's strength was not what got them over the hump, because their passing attack was non-existent in the second half of the game.
But the passing attack,
we can't say that they're a better team because Jackson's running attack didn't win in the game, when we have to factor in also FAMU's strength, which is passing, cost them an opportunity to win the game as well. And Jackson State, to me, when you look at all three phases, they stopped the run, they stopped the passing game in the second half, and they played better special teams. So to me, just from top to bottom, they look like a more complete, well-balanced team than FAMU, because FAMU couldn't run the ball all game, and they couldn't pass the ball in the second half, and their field goal kicker missed field goal kicks. You know what I'm saying? Even though Jackson State missed field goal kicks.
So what do we like? That's what I'm saying. So my whole point is you're saying that they stopped FAMU's running attack. FAMU can't run the ball. They haven't been able to run the ball all season. That's not anything special. That's not.
So you're not giving them credit? They don't get credit for that?
How do you get credit for something that we already knew coming into the game was a weakness? Just like we already knew coming into the game what was Jackson State's strength on how they could control the game by the running attack. Everything fell into place, and FAMU had the lead. With all those deficiencies, with all those issues, they were still in the lead to win the game with 3 minutes left, and a turnover turned the game. That's simply it. That is simply it.
What you're saying is true. I'm not disagreeing with you, but you can't give Jackson State credit for stopping FAMU's strength, which is their passing attack.
And FAMU,
they completely shut their water off. And
no,
in 4 games, they get to score in the second half against Jackson State, which is insane.
That's not how. Okay, first, y'all. This is what bothers me.
And again, I'm not a delusional Jackson State fan. I'm just watching the game.
What bothers me is, okay, if you're going back to the OBC and you're talking about that first game, literally you're playing against the clock. I don't need to score. I'm up 35 to 7 at the time? 35. I'm not playing against you. I'm playing against the clock. So I don't even need to score. So that's neither here nor there. So you can take that for a grain of salt because they lost that game. But even in this game, when you're up 21 And my passing attack has got me the lead. No team does anything in the third quarter. No team does anything in the fourth quarter. And at the end of the day, what wins you the game is a fumble by a sack. I cannot. To me, watching that game with all the deficiencies that FAMU had to overcome to even be in the game on the road.
The fact that they were still in the game shows you how good of a team they are. I'm giving you that. But what I said, Scotty, and I want to get out the way for somebody. I don't want to just be me and you going back and forth. But when you look at all three phases of the game, you still won't say that Jackson State is better. When you look at offense, defense, and special teams.
No.
And I'm just talking about that game alone. I'm not talking about what they did in previous games.
No, because none of what Jackson State was supposed to be great at affected the game like I thought it would. Like I assume what in my
do they
eyes,
have the second-rated defense in the conference?
No.
Their defense won in the game, basically, right?
I'm sorry. I just
Hey.
Go ahead.
I gotta get ready.
Go ahead, Perry. I'm sorry.
Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Good call, man. Keep arguing with Scotty ass. Let him know you ain't backing down. Keep arguing with his ass. Let him know. Prove your point. Hey, all right, everybody. I gotta get out of here.
All right, P. So listen.
All right, P. Love, brother.
My thing is this. So okay, so does FAMU defense not get credit for all the turnovers that they got?
Yes, I give you credit. That's why I said all turnovers aren't created equal. And the way I got on TC for play calling when Irv didn't get enough touches, I gave when I listened to your show earlier, I agree with you. The OC of FAMU gets the same results because guess what? 2 of their 4 turnovers was on the other side of the 50-yard line and produced no point.
Yeah.
So I got to give the defense credit for doing their job and taking the ball away. But yet the OC didn't help out the defense and score. They had 1 field goal that they missed, and the other times, I don't know what the guy was running. Didn't give them any legitimate chances to score the ball based off of those 4 turnovers. The one I give you, the one that a bowler, that kid made a great interception, and Fortillion should have turned into a DB and tried to bat the ball down because he couldn't catch it. So that was like a punt. They got the ball on like the 10 or the 12-yard line. But 2 of those other ones on the other side of the 50, and they got no points. That's on the OC. You got to be creative and dial some up to get your team some points off of those 4 turnovers, because those 4 turnovers mean nothing when you don't make points out of them. The Wiggins pick meant nothing, and it was at midfield because what? Jackson State didn't get any points. But the scoop and score and then the fumble on the tight end produced 15 points.
Listen, DL,
and that was the ball game.
You can. It's a lot of stuff that you can throw to me right now, but I'm not giving it to you. I'm just not. That's not what.
All I'm saying is
that's just not what I saw.
I'm just trying to get you to look at it from my viewpoint. Football is 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. And when you look at all 3 phases of the game, Jackson State scored in all 3 phases of the game: defensively, offensively, and special teams. FAMU only scored the ball when they're passing attack. They were one-dimensional. And they didn't show that they were capable of winning the game in the other 2 phases. Now, again, the defense created turnovers, like we said, but it didn't yield them any points. So just from top to bottom, I think Jackson is a better complete ball club. That's all I'm saying.
And that had to me, right? For if you're supposed to be the better team, it shouldn't have came. If I'm able to score in multiple areas of my team, and however limited FAMU is, that game should have been. If you gave me a stat line that says, "Hey, Scotty, they score in every facet. They punt 1 time." The score should not look like what it did. It shouldn't. If you tell me, if you call me up and said, "Scotty, I'm gonna tell you what the game gonna be like." Jackson State punts 1 time. They run for over 200 yards. They have 2 or 3 turnovers, and Jacobian throws 1 interception. I tell you the score is 35-14, 42-14. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. So all I'm saying is that FAMU with the limited ability that they have was in control of the whole game. From the
Scotty,
second,
you can't say a team is in control because they were up by 1 point in the second half.
Dog,
they was in control.
Dog, they controlled
that's in control. 1 point lead. I wouldn't say that's in control. Come on, fam.
They controlled the
They
whole
were leading
game,
the game
from the
you can
second.
say leading the game, but not in control.
They was in control.
If you're in control, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. They were in control. They had the momentum on their side because they're on the road. There's no crowd engagement. They were in control of the game from the end. They had the chance to close the game out with 3 minutes left. Tell me they're not in control.
They were on the 20-yard line, Scott. They had to go 80 yards. How is that in control? Your kicker showing that he was incompetent. You're 80 yards away from the end zone. You're only
Jackson State's kicker. Jackson State's kicker wasn't incompetent.
Your run game was non-existent. I want you to pass the ball to stop the clock so my offense can come back on the field. So if you're only up 1 point and you got 80 yards to score, how's that in control? They were leading, but they was never in control.
So how were they not in control? How were they not in control of the game? At no point was Jackson State able to score on them in the second half. Just like you're telling me, they're if you're saying FAMU's kicker was incompetent, no different than JSU kicker was incompetent. And if
I agree, but he did make kicks though.
And FAMU kicker don't make kicks.
I'm just saying
he didn't make no kicks.
Control is being up 10 points with 3 minutes left.
Come on,
not
man.
1 point. That's not in control because the game is still up in the balance at that point. You have to agree to that, Scotty. You know what I'm saying?
I listen.
Not control. Leading the game, I can't say they even had momentum either because neither team had done nothing. Both teams was horrible in the second half until the last 3 minutes
when you're on
the game.
When you're on the road, the momentum is keeping the crowd out of it. That is your momentum. Keeping the crowd out of it, keeping that band out of it, and you having you literally had the game in your hand to close it out, and you didn't close it out. To me, Diallo, I love when you call in. You're not going to convince me of that. And I see your points. I'm not saying I don't see your points.
You're not going to convince me either.
I'm not trying
to agree to disagree.
I'm not trying to.
But because I think we both making valid points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just telling you from my perspective, that's just how it looks for me. And to me, from the second half point on, FAMU controlled the game. Because to me,
control, Scotty. Can we come up with a different word? Control. When I look at control, that means I'm kind of getting dominated if the game is being controlled. That's just that word just doesn't sit well with me. Leading, you know what I'm saying? In ahead, yes, but in control, like I just don't see that as being in control. I see you're leading and you're doing a good job of keeping them off the field, but to control, not a 1 point lead with 3 minutes left, and you got to go 80 yards, and your defense. And
it wasn't even. If we're being honest, the
whole
pressure
second half that you couldn't do nothing. You couldn't move the ball.
Neither could Jackson.
Right. And that's why I'm saying neither team was in control at any point in this game, Scotty. You're proving my point. I'm not saying Jackson was in control either. Neither team was. A 1 point lead does not say you were in control in the game. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Even with the 4 turnovers, because those turnovers didn't yield any return points for them.
Again.
And I know other people calling it. I don't want to monopolize the time, but it was a great dialogue. And you know I got love and respect for you, brother.
Yeah, always.
We just see this one different. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Listen,
all right, I see you Wednesday night, brother. Peace and blessings.
All right, man. Peace. All right, 3475 coming to you.
Scotty.
What's up?
Defense, baby, defense. Woo! Defense. Do you know what happened, Scotty? What did you say? You was going for Richardson if the game was on the line and he had the ball in his hand. Ain't that what you said?
That was the sickest part about the whole thing.
Yeah. Where was the ball? In his hand. And what happened? That Tiger defense rolls up. Yeah, it did, didn't it? You should have been there, Scotty. Everybody in that stadium was standing on their feet. With them 3 minutes to go.
Y'all was a library. Y'all was a library from the second half.
No, sir, not at that time.
No,
you wasn't there.
You was a library.
So you don't know.
You was a library.
You weren't there.
You was a library.
Everybody in that stadium was on their feet.
Everybody was reading the book. Everybody was reading the book. Everybody was reading in the book until 3 minutes left in the game. Sir, stop it. Stop it.
That's when it counted.
You guys have the worst fan. You guys are
wasn't that the game on the line?
You guys are the worst fan interaction in the SWAC point blank period. When shit ain't going your way, y'all the quietest Bammers in the stadium. Miss me with all that. Miss me with it.
Well, were things going our way at that point in time?
Miss me with it. I don't want to hear none of that. Miss me with it. Y'all Bammers are the worst. You Bammers are ass. Y'all Bammers was sitting there monkey style singing Kumbaya stories. Miss me with it. Get off my line. Get off my line. You Bammers are ass cheeks when it comes to crowd engagement. Shut that shit up. You guys are the biggest front runners in the SWAC. If shit ain't going your way, you ain't saying no defense. You ain't saying no fire up, J-Stay, fire up. You Bammers ain't doing none of that. None of that. So miss me with it. Miss me with it. I don't want to hear none of that shit. No. Oh, Scotty, we was up 3 minutes and we was yelling. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Say that shit for Wednesday for Mike Reed. I'm out of here. Hey, listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.